What I guess getting to the heart of the problem, Paul, Peter, and James, I've heard people say, even I think Dr. Pagels thinks that, there's definitely a problem between the groups, because soon after that, Paul is now confronting Peter. This isn't, they're not just best pals and buds in this whole thing. Now, I confronted him to his face. What's Paul trying to say to his Galatian audience? Because he's trying to tell them something, and then he's constantly defending himself from this day forward, it seems. Yeah. I am not a liar. I did not lie. What's the accusation? There's so many problems that Paul's trying to address, it makes me think that they fractioned. At first, we were cool. They even approved of it. Yeah. Why are you saying that about they approved of it?
I think probably, I'll come back to Peter, but there's a wider, Peter was a table fellowship thing, and we know what that was about.
Right.
I'll get back to that, but there's a wider issue, and it's absolutely the major issue. And it's actually known in Acts 21, years later, when Paul goes finally to Jerusalem again, and he's coming up with gifts. He ends up getting arrested and so forth, and it's the end of the story. But before that happens, what does he do as soon as he arrives? And he's brought gifts from the Gentiles. This is fulfilling the prophets for him.
Right.
We'll talk about that later. He thinks these are the prophesied that the non-Jews will bring gifts up to Jerusalem in the last days. So, it's almost like symbolic. I don't know how much he brought, but maybe he had several thousand people donating. And then he goes, we brought this for the Jewish people to help the poor and so forth. So he goes in to see James, and James says, Paul, I'm paraphrasing. He says, so great to see you. There is something, though, before we go further, we need to clarify. Some people are saying that you are going beyond our agreement, the Galatians agreement. Like, we agreed that Gentiles don't have to keep the Torah halakhically, like Jews. We agreed on that, so we're there. And so that's not the issue. But there are rumors that you're telling some Jews, maybe you yourself, that even Jews really don't need to keep the Torah in the full strict way of an observant Jew, because we're so near the end of time that what he says in Corinthians, the form of this world is passing away, meaning we're moving into a time when there's neither Jew nor Greek, and even says that in Galatians. Mm-hmm. There's neither slave or free, there's neither male or female. So he thinks there's going to be this cosmic transformation. Now, James doesn't say all that, but notice, in Acts, he doesn't let Paul answer, which is not a witness to what actually happened. It's a witness to the author of Acts, writing chapter 21, wanting you to know that Paul's still Torah observant, whether he is or not. And is taking the side of James.
Right.
The side that Jews need to keep the Torah. That's consistent all the way through the book of Acts. But Paul doesn't answer. So what he says, I always laugh when I hear it, he says, so that they will know these rumors, so that everyone will know that these rumors aren't true. Like he just said, be like I say to you, Derek, I heard you were doing this, but I know you're not. And in order to show that you're not, could we do, you go, well, wait, actually,
are you sure?
Let's have a little discussion of this. Now, thank God we have 1 Corinthians 9. This is earlier, where he's writing, later than Galatians, but earlier than the meeting toward the end in the 50s. And he says, here's my strategy. To the Jew, I become as a Jew. Wait a minute. You become as a Jew? What does that mean? And to those under the law, I become as one under the law. What do you mean as one under the law? Jews are under the law. And by the way, it doesn't mean under the burden or oppression of the law. It means it's the bar mitzvah. You take on the yoke of the law, but Jesus said, my yoke is easy, my burden is light, meaning my interpretations of the Torah have to do with what God really wants. Like, how do you keep the Sabbath? It's supposed to be a blessing. It's made for humans, not humans for the Sabbath, and so forth. Mm-hmm. So don't take it as under the law,
anti-Torah.
meaning like, oh, I'm under this law, it's so horrible, because that's the later Protestant view, and it's still the view of Judaism today by many Christians. Say, oh, those poor Jews, they have to do all this stuff if they only knew Christ. Non-issue. That is not the issue. Paul makes that clear. But he says, and then he says, not under the Torah to God or Christ, meaning he says, as if I'm under the Torah, although I'm really not in terms of Christ, because I'm under the Torah of Christ. And then he goes, and to the Gentiles, I become as a Gentile. Well, what does that mean? What do you mean as a Gentile? I think he would, it's usually things like table fellowship. Like I'm invited over and you have a meal. I don't start inquiring, where did you, I see you have some, chicken there or something. Where did, or lamb, let's go with lamb. Where was that? Did you purchase that at the local Isis temple this morning?
Yeah.
So you become, and he says in Romans 14, eat what is put before you. Don't ask questions, just the earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof. This is all in Corinthians. Now, clearly, James and Peter, we don't know enough about Peter, but James and what he represents. Torah observant Messianic Judaism with Jesus as the Messiah, raised from the dead, returning again. He would not agree with that. I think Acts is reflecting probably where James would be on that issue. So Jews are to observe the Torah in an enlightened way according to the teachings of Jesus that we have some inkling of. But Gentiles they're not obligated to keep all those things. It mainly has to do with dietary laws, circumcision, festivals, the Sabbath.
Paula Fredrickson's she's hit the nail on the head in exactly. A lot of ways.
Yeah. So I think, did he break with them or is he against them? My sense is that he believes things that if they knew he believed them, there would be an absolute break. The question is, did that time ever come? Now, and I'll finish the question with this because I know you have other related things.
Yeah, but we got 4 minutes left till time's out.
So in my book, Paul and Jesus, and I struggle with this more than anything, called Battle of the Apostles. And I cover all this, but I finally say, did they keep this uneasy kind of coexistence where Paul doesn't really let on what he's really saying and doing because he's out in the hinterland? And then when he goes up to James, he's like, oh, yeah, we agreed. Yeah, Jews need to keep the Torah. Here, give me some of your kosher meat. That's really good. Did he kind of play along? Because he says, I act like a Jew. I'm under the law. Although I'm really not under the law, he says. He is under the law of Christ, whatever that means. And we can talk about that on his ethics. So anyway, here's the question. Did he get exposed at some point by people visiting Corinth primarily? Because in 2 Corinthians, which is not a single letter, it's probably as many as 4 letters. It's all fragmented. But I did my PhD dissertation on 10 through 12. That's actually 10 through 13, include 13. And I focus particularly on Paul's ascent to paradise. But the question is, he starts talking about, are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they apostles? So am I. I'm a better one, and so forth. And people go, well, he's not talking about the Jerusalem people. No way. It's other apostles and Jews and leaders. That's the standard opinion. I'm sure 99% of my colleagues hold that view. But I went back to F.C. Bauer. This is 1800s. F.C. Bauer taught a lot of the greats of the Enlightenment in the German, movement of New Testament studies. This is Ferdinand Christian Bauer. And he argued that there was an absolute split and dichotomy. A lot of people will say things like, can you believe that Tabor went back to Bauer? He's been totally discredited. This is B-A-U-R, not E-R, because there's an E-R that's known for his New Testament dictionary. Walter Bauer. So F.C. Bauer. And I just say to that, yeah, I did go back to Bauer and I got convinced he was right. I think Paul broke with the apostles. And I'm sure it was on this issue. And Yet, I don't think he was really against the Torah. He just thought it was passing away. I don't think he wrote Hebrews, but there's a line in Hebrews that I think he would sign on to.
The opening.
What is obsolete
is passing.
Is presently passing away. The form of this cosmos is passing away. And he says the time will come that those who have wives will be as those who have none, and so forth. He believes the parousia, the coming of Jesus, and the transformation is so near that this touch not, taste not, handle not. And there's a sense in which this would resonate, I think, with many people. I mean, on some levels, it certainly resonates with me. I want to be the objective scholar that's trying to descriptively figure out what happened and not take a side like, well, that was really good what he said or bad. Obviously, the parousia didn't come. But, his idea was all of that will be completely moot very soon. We won't even be talking about it. And I want to explore that further, some of the ramifications of that parousia not arriving. But that's a big one.
I definitely want to as well. Thank you so much.
Mic check, mic check. If I can be heard, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. If I can be heard, give me a Yahoo up in the chat. Bless up, bless up.
Not roll over and play dead at the feet of Luther and the reformers. They had a response to the
Bang, okay, bang. Make sure we all good. Let me know if I can be heard, family. All praises and great glorification to the Most High. Whoever lead the teachings of the Messiah in the hearts and minds, you brothers and sisters. Bless up, Nazarene and Essene, PT.81. James the Judge, Chief Bishop of all the camps in Yahshua HaMashiach. A lot of people don't understand who James is. His role in the early, if you want to call it church, dealing with Yahshua. He's actually Yahshua's biological brother. Yahshua, Yahweh, Yahusha, Yahush, however brothers and sisters love to say it. It's all good, but y'all know what we're talking about. So we're going to go over some of that today. We're going to show his leadership, the authority that he had, and the split between, because for a lot of folks don't understand there's a split, there's a contention between the top apostle or the apostles and Paul. A lot of people don't understand it. They can't see it. You understand? And a lot of it has to do with indoctrination, because we believe that they all were on one accord. You understand? But that's not the truth. That's not the truth. You understand? So we're going to get into some of this. We're going to go show how real this thing really get, and the order of it, the order of the Messiah's movement, the order of the assemblies, you did the order of the camps and all that. And what you have now is when Rome decided to, make quote unquote Christianity a state sanctioned religion and all that, inspired by a false deity and whatnot, when they assembling all these existing manuscripts, then of course they're gonna go with what fits their agenda. You understand? So there is a split. There was a split, and always has been a split there between the Nazarenes or the apostles that Yahshua ordained himself versus what Paul came on the scene and did later. All right. We're gonna go into this because I heard there's a few brothers claiming they doing some research now. They claiming they in the 1st century. Well, they don't get no more 1st century than James, just the Messiah's biological brother, little brother by 2 years. All right, so we're going to go there. Once we go there and show that, then it don't matter what nobody else come with. If it's going against the orders that Yahshua gave the apostles, then you must question it and look at it with a jaundiced eye. Yahoo, I can be heard. I see y'all in the building. Bless up. My so fit spiritual light, my beloved brother. You already know. Salute. Salute. My brother Jax. What's the word? Yahoo. Yoram Yahoo's explorations and more. That's right. That's right. Shalom. Shalom. Tillman of Yehudah. And y'all get with Tillman, man. Y'all get with the brother. Y'all really need like training or anything that has to do with defending. You understand? Defending what the Creator has blessed you with. Then go ahead and get with the brother, man. Yahweh Dread Nazir. What it do? What it do, bro? Bless up. Bless up. Irish Stevens, Latray, Yahoo, what's the word? Lion of Yah, Shalom, Shalom. Yahoo, Seth, Ben Israel, my beloved brother, bless up. Bless up. Shalom, shalom, Simon, Uriah, Yahoo. All right, so y'all see what it is. That's right, Oxseal Team 12. Y'all get with the Ox. Y'all get with it. All right, I got my Ox. Matter of fact, I got the DC Sniper in the back chat. I told him whenever he ready, it's all good. The DC Sniper, YHWH'S, wanted to get on here today too and discuss a few things he been seeing. Salute to the brother. Ain't nothing to it. I'm gonna bring the brother on in a second. I'm glad all y'all brothers and sisters is doing y'all thing, all praises. And we're gonna take our time. And what I've been doing this go round is just slowing down and going back over everything that we brought out last year. You understand? We say here in St. Louis, get them babies out the streets. So we going back and we're gonna slow down and make sure we ain't leaving nothing out there. Bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean? Simone, Yahweh, Yahoo, Benny, Yah, big love. I keep speaking truth. Facts. Y'all know what it is, man. We gonna speak. We gonna speak. They gonna have to cut our tongue out before we stop. And even then, we gonna speak and we gonna use our minds to speak. Whatever, man. You understand? Truth is truth. So big love to all y'all too. Right on for y'all prayers. Right on for y'all support. It's much love. What up, Slim? My Ak Daisy been Israel in the building. Bless up, Ak Joseph Evans, my beloved brother, man. All praise to the Most High for keeping our niece within his bosom, brother. Abundant blessings. Brandon Carter, I see you in the building, Ak. Shalom, shalom, shalom. All right, I got my Ak DC Sniper in the back. Go ahead and bring my Ak on, little taste. All right, I'm gonna mute him for a little minute till you get back up here. And let's rock. Yeah, I think I can mute him. Bang, bang, bang. All right, so look, y'all see what this is. I want to start it off right in the Bible first. All right, and I want to go show in the Bible that Yahshua actually has brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Oh, good. Bang, bang, bang. I don't even. Hey, slaves with a butter knife. Chill on out. Keep it respectful. It's gonna be a problem. All right, I told him don't block you, but we ain't doing the silly like that gravel sandwich spiel you did with them cats. You know what I mean? So I don't know who need 9800. Well, it don't even matter. Like either you here to learn, or you can keep it pushing. That simple. You don't want to catch no fade publicly. We got the receipts. You did. You don't even want to do it privately. You just want to run your mouth. So you ain't respected as a man over here at all. So either you can listen, you dig, and learn something, or you can get the hell up off our chat. There is no love or respect for no man that's willing to run his mouth but not step up like a man and catch no fade. So if you ain't with that, keep it pushing. And look, you gathering intel. You can do that without even being in here. How about that? Let's get you on a body here. How about that? Bang. Yeah, that was the guy that claimed he was in her last week. Ran and called himself doing some type of video, and it was garbage. Hot garbage, man. Then you call the other cats, and it sounded like you had a gravel sandwich in your mouth. Right? Like it didn't even make sense. He was all over the place, screaming and yelling. I'm like, that boy got a naked demon in his mouth or something. What's wrong with him? Like it made no sense at all. Like it was horrible. You know what I mean? You little crying jaws, Tuvi, like that. It was horrible. You did. So we're gonna go on back and take our time and slow roll this thing with our brothers and sisters. I got the DC Sniper in the back chat clip up, brother. Yeah.
Bro, what it brew, baby?
What it brew? I talk to it.
Man, what's happening, man? You know what it is. Addressing butter knives. You know what I'm saying? Coming to bring James forth. You know what I'm saying? People came with first century historians from Rome and Smyrna and Antioch. And that was good. It was good information. But we dealing with Jerusalem, the Council of Jerusalem, and those who follow directly under Messiah, whom we are commanded to follow, or his example. So that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is, and that's where it started. And once everybody understands that,
there's no emotion. It's no emotion in it. You know what I'm saying? So all of the little slanderous accusations and all of that crap, man, like cut that out. We're dealing with scriptures, antiquity, history, like period. Period.
Yeah. Right, exactly. We attacking it from a non-emotional standpoint. You understand? So what we gonna do is feed y'all. Like everything we get, we transparent with it. You understand? For y'all that don't know this, our brother YAH'KI Maccabee, the DC sniper. You want to give everybody a small like introduction for those that don't know you out?
So for those that don't know me, I go by YAH'KI Maccabee. I'm out here in the DMV. Been walking in truth for a decade now. Well, about to be a decade in a couple months if the Most High so chooses me to see it. You know what I'm saying? Been through various degrees in my walk. You know what I'm saying? In my short little tenure, and that goes from different school of thoughts, like from not keeping the feast days to keeping the feast days, just to constantly been growing in this thing. You know what I'm saying? And studying all sides. Like that's how you study. You study from all sides of the matter, and then you draw a conclusion. And in my walking in my journey, that's what I've been doing. Some of y'all might know me from the music, which man, we gotta get back on that, Hebrew. But from the music and dealing with the the station and stuff like that. So man, that's basically it. I'm a regular dude, just like y'all. Ain't no different. Ain't no difference. Just try and bring forth this truth. Period.
Absolutely.
Or what I know, you know what I'm saying, the truth.
Absolutely. And there ain't no private agendas here with the brother. You know what I mean? I know this brother, met him in the flesh, made music with him. You understand? Genuine brother. Like even look, this is the first brother for y'all that don't know. This is the first brother told me chicken was unclean. Yeah, look, listen to me. Years ago. You remember that? Right after we met each other, you got me a video like, hey, man, I can't even cut this, man. Get it back at me. You know what I mean? I remember that.
I remember the picture we took down at the awards. You had the cuckoo on your bed, and I was messing with you about that.
Yeah. But it's all good, man. It ain't nothing but love. So what we gonna do here is show y'all James the Just. For y'all that don't know who we call Yahshua, the Messiah, had biological brothers and sisters. He had a family. You understand? He got cousins. He had a cousin named John the Baptist. Most of us know. We know how he met his end. We know how the Messiah met his end, but we all understand he lives on. You dig? We know if you get into the history of James, how James went down. You know, it sounds just like what happened to Stephen in Acts the 7th chapter, Acts the 8th chapter. And you start seeing that Rome was coming at these brothers with this understanding right here. It wasn't about, in other words, these brothers was not murdered and thrown down just because they was preaching render to Caesars what Caesar's. Nah, it was something totally different going on that history unveils. You understand? And so we're gonna get into this, and this to let the brothers and sisters know that if you call yourself a follower of Messiah, then you must understand that he left instruction, he left order, he left leadership and structure. You understand? And if anybody coming outside that structure, it got to get questioned. It got to get, it got to get questioned and scrutinized. So first I want to go is just to show right in the Bible that James is the brother of Messiah. Let's go to Matthew 13 first. And YAH'KI, wherever you want to go, let me know. If you want to share your screen, let me know. Let's get it.
Man, I ain't even download the pictures or nothing, so
let's go. Well, look,
it's gonna be other top sessions.
Yeah. Believe that. We can always do a part 2. You know what I mean?
Let me get my script, bro.
Oh, okay.
Or better yet, what you about to share the screen? I can read it if you want.
Yeah, I'm about to share the screen. I'm about to share the screen right here. Bang. All right, I'm about to share the screen. Let's eat, brother. Let's work. Bang. Share screen. All right, wow. All right, first spot we're going to go to y'all is Matthew the 13th chapter. All right. We're gonna do Matthew 13 and Mark the 6th chapter. All right. And we're gonna read a few verses about the Messiah's family. All right. Now we're gonna start at verse 53.
Write this down, y'all. All right, Matthew 13:53. And it came to pass that when Yahshua had finished these parables, he departed thence. And when he was come into his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, in so much that they were astonished and said, whence has this man this wisdom and these mighty works? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph and Simon and Judas and his sisters? Are they not all with us? Whence then has this man all these things?
All right, stop right there, bro. So now we see that our Messiah had a family, man. You dig? Brothers and sisters. And we see first on the list and his brethren, James. Right. James. Okay. There's a reason why he's barely mentioned in the scriptures. There's a reason behind that. There's an agenda behind it. You want to say something, YAH'KI? Talk to us.
Yeah, real quick. So I ain't got the picture. Hold on, let me get it. But this is
James, hold on. Let me remove this. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let me so you can.
This is James, the brother of Yahshua and the Dead Sea Scrolls. So going into him, talking about when Mally just says they silenced it, I'm going to read this little excerpt right here that's underlined. It says, the downplaying of James and Christian tradition is important, not only where doctrine is concerned, but also because it is clear that James, as the head of Jerusalem church and all that could be considered Christianity at the time, was superior to both Peter and Paul. Paul, of course, repeatedly points out his personal disagreement with the ruling James makes and the instruction he receives from him. He even denigrates the authority of those he calls leaders, pillars, archapostles, who consider themselves important or write their own references, and often displays his unwillingness to follow the views. He never, however, contests James' legitimate right to exercise the position he occupies, nor the fact of his authority. In Galatians, he makes it clear, too, that the character he calls either Peter or Kepha was subservient to James and not only obliged, but willing to defer to James' leadership. And that's in Galatians 2:11-12.
Absolutely. You know we're going to hit Galatians. We're going to hit Galatians today if we got time, man. But yeah. And I advise everybody to jump out there and grab Robert Eiserman's books, man. It's very, very thoroughly detailed. Very thoroughly detailed. He went in on, like, you talking about historical and what's really going on, and then analyze the text and like, man, look, it's all right there. It's all right there. So that was a good one right there. You already know. Any more? Come on with it. Let's let the spirit flow.
We clipped up.
All right, clip up. That's right. All right, let's jump over to Mark 6 and get a second witness. All right, Mark 6, we're going to start at verse 1. All right, let me stop sharing real quick. In fact, I got to stop sharing. Bang. We go to Mark 6. So we see he got brothers and sisters, right? He got brothers and sisters. All right.
And it was a family situation because even after James, who took over? His brother Simon Bar, right?
That's right. And they just mentioned Simon, didn't it?
Yeah.
Simon was mentioned also in the list of brothers.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? It's the history. You understand? That the war against Rome was a messianic war. You got to understand, 1 million of us died in that war, man. We ain't even talking about those of us that made it out. But 1 million of us died in that war. We thought the world was over. What you mean? That was a messianic war. We not going for none of this Roman stuff. Y'all gonna have to come on with this. You understand?
And look, when you're dealing with wars, the winners of these wars rewrite history and write history and control history. We see right now who controls history. The gods, the days of the weeks. We know who got all the books. You know what I'm saying? It's been 21 councils. It's a lot that y'all got to stop this religious mindset, man.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, real talk, bro. It's a lot. You dig? And what you speaking of is Rome, the fourth beast.
The fourth
Everything
beast.
down to your days of the week, you got to mention Rome. If you get into the technical name of any plants, you got to mention Rome because it's all Latin. It's all Latin. You dig? Legally,
they say all roads lead to Rome.
It does. You dig? All right, now let's get into this right here. We're gonna go to Mark 6 next. All right. Shalom to set up who I live in Iman in the building. Bless up, bless up. We in Mark 6. We're gonna read verse 1 through 3, my brother. 1 through 3. Hold on. Let me scroll back down. There we go.
Mark 6:1. And he went out from thence and came into his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, From whence has this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hands? Is this not the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph, and of Judah and Simon? Are not his sisters with us? And they were offended at him.
See, so that's a second witness right there. That's a second witness right there to show that the Messiah has brothers. He has sisters. All right. Now, upon him leaving and expiring, he left structure. He left men in charge, specifically his brother James. All right. Now, to back that up, we're gonna go next to the Gospel of the Nazarenes. All right. We're gonna go to chapter 5. I'm about to pull that up too, so y'all be able to see what's actually going on here. And we're gonna name even the sisters. So they named the brothers in the Bible, but they never named the sisters. All right. We're about to go get the sisters' names as well.
And for any of you men who got something to say about the Gospel of the Nazarenes, it's a first century document. It's a primal source from which the Matthew and the quote unquote Gospels come from. So, and that's fact. You know what I'm saying? Since we're dealing with first century and history, you know what I'm saying? And y'all look that up. This ain't make believe. This ain't made up. Like, it's history.
Exactly. And just a few people get mad instead of, see, I find a lot of people just want to be right instead of righteous. Like, you want to be the one that's, that they got all the answers first and all that. That ain't what this about, man. Like, look, if you're wrong, you gotta have the humility enough to be like, you know what, I was wrong on that. I was looking at that because of this like that, but look, I see it different. And here's why. You feel me?
Forever learning and never coming into the knowledge of truth.
That's right, brother. Now watch this. Watch this. I'm gonna show y'all something, man. Easy work. Easy work, man. Some of us do this. All right, so we go in here first, y'all. Gospel of the Nazarenes. Some of y'all got the actual book. That's my actual book right there. I took a picture of. You dig? All right, very, very revolutionary document, man. Very revolutionary. Got a lot of people mad right now, but they'll be all right. They'll be all right. You did. Come debunk the info. If you can't, we might have a problem. All right. Now, right here, we're going to go into chapter 5. I'm going to show y'all chapter 5 first. All right. Now, watch this. Let me hide this thumbnail over here. All right. So we're going to chapter 5 first. And it's about the manifestation of Yahshua to the Magi, or who you know as the wise men. All right. That's that right there. It's my actual book. So let me scroll down. We're going to go to the end of this, though. I want to show y'all something. All right.
The actual book.
Yep, the actual book. Chapter 5. All right. We're going to start around verse 21. See, that's my writing down there. You did. All right, we're going to start at verse 20. We're going to start at verse 20. If you can read it off the screen, brother.
Yes, sir. But when Herod was, I got the book.
Okay.
But when Herod was dead, behold, Gabriel appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother and return into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life. And the master said, Out of Egypt have I called my son, who shall be called the Nazarene.
Who shall be called?
And he arose, the Nazarene.
That's Matthew. For y'all that don't know, y'all, that's Matthew 2:23. That's a prophecy that's in the Bible about Messiah. He should be called a Nazarene. It comes from the root word netzar. Branch also means guardian. All right. The Hebrew letters is Nun, Zadeh, Resh. All right. Go ahead, bro.
And he arose and took the young child and his mother and came into the land of Israel. And they came and dwelt in the place called Nazareth, where dwelt Nazarites and Essenes, and he was called the Nazarene. I gotta say it like that. It also came to pass that in the second year of Yeshua's life, a second son was born to Joseph and Mary. his name was called James, meaning one who is just and righteous before the master, one who is of the true Israel.
That's right.
And as with Yahshua and John, he was consecrated unto the Most High, a Nazarite from his mother's womb, according to the way.
According to the way. So if these men are Nazarites from the womb, then y'all guess what? That means all these brothers got locks. These brothers don't eat flesh. These brothers don't even drink strong drink or wine. That's how dedicated these brothers are. If they're Nazarites from the womb, then they're consecrated. All right. And this is important to know because Nazarene is a combination of Nazarite and Essene. All right. If you know anything about the Essenes, well, guess what? They in the spiritual communion, meaning they understand how to tap in with the forces that the Creator have made. You understand, for the angels to serve them, not in advancement of physical things, but just in spiritual things. You understand? They know the elements. These men were top-notch healers. All right. Now, it's important to understand if you're a Nazarite, you got long hair. Paul has a problem with the long hair. Doesn't nature teach you that he to have long hair is a shame? Who you think he's talking about? All right. Paul also got a problem with the brothers that don't eat flesh. He said those that eat herbs are weak. Who you think he's talking about? Who you think he's talking about? He got a problem with the brothers that commune with angels. That's in Colossians. He got a problem with the brothers with the long hair. That's in Corinthians. And he got a problem with the brothers who don't eat flesh, calling them weak. That's in Romans. Y'all, for y'all that don't know, Paul is going against the disciples. The disciples, especially the top disciples and apostles, they was lifelong Nazarites.
And bro, even before
the Messiah. You feel me? So when Paul's dissing the long hair, when he's dissing the eating the herbs, and when he's dissing spiritual communion, just know he's talking about the Nazarenes. That's who he's talking about. It just so happened the Nazarene sect is the official sect that's running the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. When he finally
the church or the Council of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And even with that script, like before I came into this understanding, that script used to throw me because he said it's unnatural, but if it's unnatural, then why does hair grow? You know what I'm saying? Like on a male. Like it just ain't make sense to me, you know what I'm saying, at all.
Right. Exactly, bro. Now look at this. Verse 23. What it say?
In later years, they would have 3 more sons, Judah, Justice, and Simeon, and also 2 daughters, Asiah and Lydia.
Look at that, Asiah and Lydia, the Messiah's sisters. All right. Look at all his brothers. So
seven of them, right?
It's 7 children total.
Yeah.
It's 5 sons and 2 daughters. All right. Now, how many of us even knew that? How many of us even knew that before we came into this understanding? I know I didn't. I used to skip right over. I didn't even recognize that he had a family like that. You dig? I didn't even peep. You know what I mean? So
I knew of James and I knew of John.
Go ahead. You said what?
No, I was saying I only knew of James and John, his cousin, John the Baptist, quote unquote.
Right. And then with the how the little information we got on James, that was real quick. You know what I mean? Like, dang, what's really going on here? But I wanted to show that yes, the Messiah has brothers and sisters. I also wanted to show that these brothers are lifelong Nazarites and consecrated from the womb. And Nazarites have a certain code, man. Nazarenes have a certain code, especially when it comes down to the chewing of the flesh. And them brothers never shaved. So you dealing with brothers that got the natural forming, locks.
Yeah.
I mean, these brothers look like West Indians. Look like, you know what I mean, Yardie boys. You know what I mean? Long beards, natural forming locks. You did very right.
They out here with the Dimitri Milligan with elder beard.
Yeah, serious work right there, man. So I just wanted to show that real quick. If y'all getting some understanding so far, give us a 4 up in the chat, man. I just want to show y'all that even in the Bible it says the Messiah has brothers and sisters. You dig? Then we go over to the Gospel of the Nazarenes, bag it right up. We even get the sisters' names, and we see that these brothers and sisters are Nazarites from the womb. All right, they eat a certain way, they live a certain way, they don't shave. You understand? They bathe daily. They don't eat flesh. They don't even partake in strong drink of wine. These brothers are serious. These are serious brothers right here, man. You understand?
Facts.
Okay, so I see
Facts.
4 in the chat. We looking pretty good. All right, so let's go show from first century, since I see brothers are studying. That's a good thing, though. I'm glad brothers are studying, because for the longest, none of them brothers would study, YAHKI. You know that. You did. Yeah. I'm glad brothers is studying.
Yeah. It was good information.
I looked up the other day, LaCrying Jaws had Eusebius up. I said, oh, look at LaCrying Jaws. Yeah. He got Eusebius on the screen.
But we going to get into Eusebius, though, because he spoke of James.
Yeah, he did. I got him, too. I can remember, look, we got all of it, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of people in here saying they didn't know that. So all praises. That means enlightenment is happening. So all praises. So what I want to go to next, I'm going to go to Clement. First century, travel with Peter. Okay, documenting his battles. All right. So we're going to go to Peter's letter to James and then Clement's letter to James. All right. Now we got Peter and Clement, one a Brew, one a Gentile, right? And let's see if they have the understanding on who James is. Then we're going to get into Acts. Go ahead, bro.
And y'all, just so y'all know, it's 2 Clements. So in history, you're going to have 2 Clements. You're going to have Clement of Rome, and then you're going to have Clement of Egypt. Alexandria, Egypt. So just make no mistake about that. But I believe that they brought out Clement of Rome. So let's go into his literacy. Like,
well, okay. Well, that's still, we dealing with first century. So we finna go into his literacy and see what he talking about. Y'all want to go deal with Clement of Rome? Let's go. That'll work. That's easy work, man. Easy work. So I'm gonna pull this up for y'all that don't got it. It's the Clementine homilies, aka the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, or the recognitions of Clement. All right, we're gonna go right into the beginning of this deal. Right into the beginning of it. The very beginning is Peter's letter. It kicks off with Peter's letter to James. You know what I mean? We got the PDF I'm about to pull up. Y'all see that? Epistle of Peter to James.
Peter to James.
There it is right there. And when you get over, it's
the Epistle of Clement to James.
Yeah, Epistle
why
of
all
Clement.
These men writing to James?
Yeah, why James? Why James?
Why James?
Now, why this?
The brother of Yahshua.
Yeah. Obviously, something else is going on that the writers or the redactors or the editors of the New Testament don't want to come out. That's why you barely hear about James, you did. But even Paul told you in Galatians 1, James is the master's brother. Even off Paul's own lips, who he didn't go learn from. Paul admitted. Right. You did.
And eventually, Paul had to go check in with James himself. Eventually, when he decided to.
Exactly. You got to come on home, player. You got to check in. These are the men that knew Yahshua in the flesh. All right, now watch this. Let me share this real quick. All right, let's work. This is what we're here to do. We're here to work. I'm glad, bro, and them diving deeper though. Keep it all the way.
It was good information.
Yeah,
it was excellent information.
You can't be afraid of information, y'all, ever. That's one thing we can't do as a people. Stop being afraid.
Yeah. That's how you get stuck in a religious mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us was trapped in Christianity for so long, and you was offended by that, but you doing the same thing inside of understanding that you're Israelite. Like, you're being stuck in a religious mindset when you choose not to take in the information at all. Like, young, it's 2022. It's plenty of information out here. It's no excuse for people to be ignorant out here, especially us inside of this quote unquote understanding. And I'm not talking about Nazarene, but I'm just talking about the Hebrew faith.
Right.
Like, we got to stop being religious. We got to stop, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, when I see that, all I see is Pharisees. That's all I see.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. We can't be like that, man. Can't be like that. Don't be like that. It ain't gonna get us nowhere.
Never stop growing, never stop learning, stop being scared. Like, how you gonna study if you don't study all sides of a matter? It don't make sense. You can't listen to somebody and then just go, oh, this is the end all be all. It don't work like that. And then you get in your feelings when you get cut by something that you ain't even know because you chose not to study it or listen. So listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Take in the information, write it down. Like, stop being rebellious. Just it is what it is. Like it's old. You know what I'm saying? You not gonna change it, and it's not gonna change. Period.
Yep, it is what it is. We got right here, brother. This right here is the Epistle of Peter to James up on the screen out the book I just showed y'all. Y'all see this? Now, if you can, I read that the top part. Peter to James.
The epistle of Peter to James. Peter to James, the master and bishop of the holy church, under the Father of all, through Yahshua HaMashiach, which is peace always.
So this is Peter, who Mashiach said, on this rock I'm gonna build my assembly, right? This is Peter acknowledging that James is the master and bishop of the holy assembly, the holy set apart church. This is Peter writing to James, calling him this, announcing himself. They did. Peter to James, the master and bishop of the set apart assembly, under the Father of all. That's the Most High. Through Yahshua HaMashiach, which is peace always. So I wanted to go here first and show that Peter is acknowledging that James is the master or the leader over Yahshua's movement. You dig? This is Peter's letter.
And we just read in the other book when I kicked it off was that Paul and Peter was subservient to James.
That's right. That's right. That's the truth, man. A lot of people don't know that. And without knowing that, somebody else can come with their own agenda and have you thinking that, you know, this is the way to go, when really the brothers had a conflict. They had a split. Now, that's where the split first happened, right there. You know what I mean? The split first happened back in first century.
Keep in mind, James is Yeshua's brother. Like, when you get into the gospel of the Nazarenes, you're going to see, like, they traveled together. They went and learned together. Like, what was it, a 2-year difference?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so they came up together. And this is James. This same James is now the leader of the Council of Jerusalem, which set the standard for all Christianity.
Period.
In the first century.
Period. This before Rome. You understand? This before any of that. James was already set up in the creed. This is how the movement is going to be ran. You see? And look, it makes sense. It would be a family movement. The best revolutions are fought with families. That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. It would be his brother to take up. You know what I mean? Now, trip off this. You even got a saying out there that Paul understood Messiah better than even James.
How?
Wow, this is brother. Like, he used to smell his farts growing up. Like, how he know him better than him and he never met him?
He ain't never seen him. Never seen him, never smelled him, never touched him, none of that.
Yo, man, that shit is crazy, man. Dang, man, it's crazy.
But yet this is the same man that dominates the New Testament. You know what I'm saying? To a no count. It's crazy.
That's right, bro.
But none of the disciples. Huh?
Whenever you're ready, let's look at the next one. We're going to read the top of Clement's epistle to James.
Epistle of Clement to James. Clement to James, the master and bishop or leader of bishops who rules Jerusalem, the holy church of the Hebrews, and the churches everywhere, excellently founded by the providence of Yah, with the elders and deacons and the rest of the brethren. Peace be always.
Now, Clement go even harder in addressing James, don't he, boy? He say the master and the bishop of bishops.
But hey, can you let them know who Clement was, just in case, you know what I'm saying, nobody understands who Clement is?
Yeah, Clement is someone that actually was born in Rome. All right, and always had these questions about the Almighty, the Creator. You dig? And never could be satisfied by all this Roman philosophy. So one day he heard Barnabas teaching in Rome and was like, hey, that's interesting. You dig? And Barnabas was like, you think I'm cold? I got somebody for you. So he took him on back to Peter. Peter took him to James. James say, look, follow Peter around and document everything he does, because he about to go and battle Simon Magus. You dig? But we need, and at the end of every 7 years, send me his teachings and write. So Clement went and did that. Clement actually served Peter. You dig? Peter. He actually served Peter and documented Peter's battles against Simon Magus for many years, man. Many years. You dig? So but he did that at the behest of James, Yahshua's brother. James told Clement, you know what I mean? Hey, follow Peter around, document what he teach, and every 7 years send me his teachings and writing so we can store it up. You see that? So Clement is saying flat out, James is the master and the bishop of bishops, right? So it don't matter if you're talking about Bishop of Smyrna, Bishop of Ephesus. But look, if they ain't coming up under the authority of James, they are not to be received. And we gonna read
my God.
We gonna read that.
We
gonna read that.
We gonna read that.
They're not coming under the authority of what James, if they not stamped valid by James, Yahshua's brother, you will not receive them.
I already know. Can I drop a bomb real quick?
Absolutely, come on with it.
coming out the Clementine homilies. It says, our master and prophet who has sent us declared to us that the evil one, having disputed with him 40 days, but failing to prevail against him, promised he would send apostles from among his subjects to deceive them. Therefore, above all, remember to shun any apostle, teacher, or prophet who does not accurately compare his teaching with that of James, the brother of my master, and this even if he comes to you with recommendations.
Y'all hear this? He like, look, if he ain't stamped valid by James, guess what? He a fraud. He's a fraud.
And this is what Clement said. And this is the same brother who, brothers brought out, Clement. So we appreciate you for bringing it out. All praises. now let's get into who Clement was, what he was saying. Like, right. What was he doing?
Right.
Like, come on.
Bring Clement on out. That's what's up. Because right here, Clement is admitting that James running it.
In the first century, in Jerusalem.
Yeah. The holy church, about this, of the Hebrews. All right. So all you Israelites are up under the authority of Yahshua's brother. All of you. All of you. The holy church of the Hebrews and the churches everywhere.
Woo.
Everywhere.
Woo.
So that means even what Paul was setting up had to be up under the authority of James. And if it wasn't, then guess what? We got a problem. We got a problem.
And look, during James' time, like, that was the authority. You know what I'm saying? It was no other, like, that was the authority. That's why James is the that's why he's very key in it. And he's been quieted. You know what I'm saying? It's been an agenda behind that, because they don't want this truth out. They don't want you to dig into it and know who James was and realize, oh, this is the most, Yeshua's brother. Oh, he was a Nazarene. He was consecrated. He didn't eat meat. He didn't, you know what I'm saying, do this and do this and do this. Like, they don't want this out. So it was an agenda at play to quiet James. That's why we don't know a lot about James, and he's not even listed other than in Acts, you know what I'm saying, in the scripts and his one little epistle he has in the Bible, but that's why.
Right. That's about it. You understand? Okay, we're going to drop that. We about to go over. I want to show them something real quick. I thought I pulled that up, player. Hold on. Let me stop the screen real quick. Stop sharing. All right, I got something else I want to show y'all. It's easy work, man. It's easy work. And when we get back, and once we understand his authority and what he has, and now we can go compare the teachings. Okay, this is what he commanded Paul. Did Paul teach that? Because Paul had a chance. He did, but did he teach that, though? And if he didn't, if he's teaching something opposite of what the established disciples of Yahshua teaching, And I mean, I can't make a decision for you as a man or anybody else as an adult. You understand? But to me, it just makes more sense that those that knew him, those that grew up with him, those that he taught and raised and witnessed, they would understand him more than somebody who never met him. That just makes sense to me. It may not make sense to everybody else, but to me, that makes sense. So when I see that he differs with him, look, I got to roll with the disciples. I don't know how to, make them feel as if everything adds up and harmonizes. It don't.
Facts. And one thing for me was, where are all of the disciples' writings? You know what I'm saying? That was probably the first thing that sent me like, wait, hold up. Why is Paul dominant and he never met HaMashiach? Like, where are all the writings of the disciples at? You know what I'm saying? And that's what sent me on my quote unquote, I guess, journey, this part of my journey.
Absolutely.
But these are questions that you have to ask yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then go into it and see, because it's been 21 councils of heathens that has infiltrated and dealt with, from 325, the Council of Nicaea, all the way to 1965.
Facts.
These council of heathens have had their hands in these scripts and in these scrolls and holding stuff. The Dead Sea Scroll, they pressed them peoples out for it, but they held them for 40, almost a half a century.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. All right.
So question all of this, man. Question it, man. Research it.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with
this. And this is history. It can't be refuted. It's history.
Exactly. All right, so we're gonna go right here to Nazarene Acts. Another, basically the Clementine, what we just read. It's a few things that's added in here. You did, but right there. All right, so where we gonna first go? We're gonna go on down to where James and them. They're at the table of contents right there. All right. Matter of fact, I had this on the side. Really. Well, my brother Tillman say they wasted their time making that video. Shot themselves in the foot.
Hey, shout out to my Tillman. That's my brew right there. We bang every day.
That's right, man. What it brew. All right. Now we're gonna jump down. We're gonna jump down to where it went down, and they had to go ahead and go get James, and James came into the temple. He got the teaching. He did. Okay, bang, 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 refuted. Tumult raised, 2 comments. Here we go right here. Here we go right here. What page is that? That's chapter. All right, bang, bang, bang. Chapter, what is that? 50, 60, 69. Go to page 2. Okay. Bang. Second, y'all. Popping up. All right. We got to go on down to chapter 69. And I got you. We're going to work. Now, this is James himself in the temple. In the temple. All right. And showing right in front of everybody how the temple is going to be destroyed. All right. Discussion resumed. Okay. 2 rules of faith. And then he gets into right here. This is right before 2 comings of HaMashiach. Right after this, guess who steps on the scene and try to kill James? Wow.
It is. Go.
All right. Let's get into it. All right, y'all. This stuff is beyond easy. Too easy for real.
Easy work.
It's easy, y'all. It's like, nah, y'all ain't even got that. All right.
Man, we just dealing with James, period.
All right, now right here, okay. All right, so look, I'm gonna start up here, the rule of faith. And this is Gamaliel, an infamous rabbi in Judaism to this very day. 1st century nonetheless. All right, it says right here, the rule of faith. These sayings of Gamaliel did not much please Caiaphas. Now, Caiaphas or Caiaphas is the high priest. You read about him in John the 11th chapter. All right. His Hebrew name is Caiaphado. All right. So these sayings of Gamaliel did not much please the high priest Caiaphas, and hold him in suspicion. As it seemed, he began to insinuate himself cunningly into the discussions. For smiling at what Gamaliel had said, the chief of the priests, Kohanim, asked of Yaakov, James, the chief Mavakar, bishop, that the discourse concerning Messiah should not be drawn but from the scriptures. They want to hold him to the scriptures. That we may know, said he, whether Yahshua be the very Mashiach or no. Then said James, Yaakov, we must first inquire from what scriptures? We must first inquire from what scriptures? We are especially to derive our discussion. Then he, with difficulty at length, overcome by reason, answered that it must be derived from Torah. And afterwards, he made mention also of the Navim, or the prophets. All right. So here comes James. He about to break it down. He about to break it down. Two comings of Messiah. Two comings of Messiah. All right. To him, our Yaakov, James began to show that whatsoever things the prophets say, they have taken from Torah. And what they have spoken, what they have spoken is in accordance with Torah. He also made some statements respecting the scrolls of the kings and what way and when and by whom they were written. He was going hard of who wrote them and what way they were written, what writing style they were compiled in, when. You see what we doing, how thorough we get down in our research now? James and them was doing the same thing. See, made some statements respecting the scrolls of the kings in what way, meaning how and when and by whom they were written and how they ought to be used. But you want to get on us for being critical. Nothing wrong with critically thinking, man. That's what these brothers were doing. And when he had discussed most fully concerning Torah and had by a most clear exposition, brought into light whatever things are in it concerning Messiah, he showed by most abundant proofs that Yahshua is the Mashiach, and that in him are fulfilled all the prophecies that related to his humble coming. For he showed that two comings of him are foretold, one in humiliation, which he has accomplished, the other in glory, which is hoped for to be accomplished when he will come to give the kingdom to those who believe in him and who observe all things that he has commanded. And when he had plainly taught the people concerning these things, he added this also, that unless a man be immersed in water in the name of Yahshua, as Yahshua taught, he can neither receive remission of sins nor enter into the Malkuth Shamayim, kingdom of heaven. And he declared that this is the prescription of the unbegotten creator, Yah. Notice the Most High is unbegotten. Nobody sired the Most High. To which he added this also, do not think that we speak of two unbegotten creators, or that one is divided into two, or that the same is made male and female, but we speak of the only begotten Son of the Most High, not sprung from another source, but born from the Most High's bosom. And in like manner, we speak of Ruach. When he had spoken some things also concerning Mikvah through 7 successive days, he banging a whole week. He persuaded all the people and the priests and the high priest, that means Caiaphas, Kohen HaKadosh is the high priest, that they should hasten straightway to receive immersion. So he over there spitting and convincing so thoroughly for a week straight that he didn't convince all those who don't believe in Yahshua to come on to the water and get baptized, get immersed, get this mikvah. You see this? Paul Bateman, we reading from the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, my beloved elder. Bless up.
And Mally, who was that who was speaking? I said, who was that who was speaking?
That was James speaking.
Oh, okay.
That was James,
the brother
speaking.
Yahshua. The brother of Yahshua.
Brother Yahshua.
in the first century.
First century.
The leader of the Council of Jerusalem.
Yeah, the leader.
Oh,
Bishop
okay.
Bishop.
For sure. Just so we clear. Okay.
You can't even get around it. For anybody that's trying to, you can't get around it. That's serious. They said you cannot get around it. Now watch this. Talmud raised by who? Shalom. Or Paul. Now, this showing you right here, Paul is the enemy to the Nazarene sect, the Nazarene way. And
he's an op.
You see that? Like James speaking for a whole week, and he got even the high priest Caiaphas ready to get immersed. Y'all see this? He going, look, he even critically thinking when it come down to the Torah and the scrolls of the kings, he want to know how it was written, when it was written, by whom, and how they supposed to be used, because they understood. You understand that the written Torah that they have is problematic if you got false scribes out here. So they were critically thinking about the Torah. When they used Torah, they were critically thinking. They weren't just saying, okay, let's say that, go do it. No. You got to make sure it line up with the character of the creator.
Hold on now. You said Caiaphas, he had Caiaphas ready?
Caiaphas was ready to get baptized, immersed. Before,
I thought it was Gamaliel.
You said what?
Gamaliel.
Oh, Gamaliel?
Yeah, because didn't Caiaphas, after that, didn't Caiaphas pay for pay Paul
we finna keep reading. I just seen it said Kohen HaGadol right there. It said right here at the bottom of that, it said right here. I'm gonna highlight that. It says, it says through 7 successive days, he persuaded all the people and the Kohen HaGadol. That's the high priest. That's Caiaphas.
But is that plural though? Because right after that, don't Caiaphas pay Shaul to get them out of there?
Oh yeah, and look, we about to read Shaul. Now look, Caiaphas was ready until Shaul raises riot.
Okay, got you.
You know what I mean? Caiaphas was ready until Shaul came in and was like, we ain't getting down with that. Y'all crazy as hell.
Yeah.
So this is Paul or Shaul coming in showing that he's an enemy, actually, y'all. He's not in agreement with these brothers. And this is before Damascus, right? But even after Damascus, he's not in agreement. Now watch this. Hey,
hold on, man.
Go ahead, bro.
And when matters were at that point that they should come and be immersed, someone of our enemies entering the heckle, our enemy.
One of our enemies. Go ahead.
Entering the temple with a few men began to cry out and say, "What you mean, O men of Israel? Why are you so easily hurried on? Why are you led headlong by most miserable men who are deceived by Simon, a magician?" While he was thus speaking and adding more to the same effect, and while Yaakov was refuting him, he began to excite the people and to raise a tumult, so that the people might not be able to hear what was said. Therefore, he began to drive all into confusion with shouting and to undo what had been arranged with much labor, and at the same time to reproach the Kohanim and to enrage them with rivalings and abuse, and like a madman to excite everyone to murder, saying, "What do you? Why do you hesitate, O sluggish and inert? Why do we not lay hands upon them and pull all these fellows to pieces?" That man was angry. Yeah. And when he said this, he first, seizing a strong brand from the altar, set the example of smiting. Then others also, seeing him, were carried away with like readiness. Then ensued a tumult on either side of the beating and the beaten. Much blood is shed. There is a confused flight, in the midst of which that enemy attacked James and threw him headlong.
That says that
attacked James and threw him headlong from the top of the steps. And supposing him to be dead, he cared not to inflict further violence upon him.
Did y'all hear this? Paul threw Yahshua's brother off the top steps of the temple and thought he was dead. James was paralyzed behind this for a couple years.
Yeah, punished.
Paralyzed. This is what Paul did. This is what Paul did. You see this? That enemy is Paul. Paul started a riot. He didn't like what Yaakov was talking about. He seen how he was very skillful in delivering the understanding to where everybody about to get water immersed. You know, so he starts a riot. You feel me? And then guess what? Blood is being shed everywhere. And James, YHWH'S, James the Just, is thrown headlong, y'all. I mean, head first from the top of the steps. You dig? And he thought this man was dead. How many of y'all knew that Paul tried to kill James? He tried to kill him. Now, why wouldn't he, even if he had a revelation of Yahshua, shouldn't this be the first man you go check in with and ask for forgiveness? Bruh, I straight tried to kill you. I was off, man. Please forgive me. Paul tried to kill Yahshua's brother, man. And then when he get his revelation, all of a sudden he like, I wasn't taught this by man, neither did I go check in with man.
Yeah.
Well, you know who you need to be checking in with, right?
The leader of the Council of Jerusalem in the
who
first
you
century.
just tried to kill. That would have proved if Paul was humble or not. Go check in with that man you tried to kill and beg for his forgiveness. Huh?
And this is Yahshua's brother.
Yes. He straight tried to kill this man. This is serious, man. All right, we're going to read this next one, and then we're going to get into a little more. Go ahead, bro. That's word.
Flight to Jericho. But I have a ring lifted him up, for they were both more numerous and more powerful than the others. But from their fear of Yahuwah, they rather suffered themselves to be killed by an inferior force than they would kill others.
You see, so a lot of the brothers, man, a lot of the Nazarene, Essene, bro, they don't believe in spilling blood so much to where they wouldn't even get at these cats, even though they could win. They was an inferior force. It wasn't like Paul and them had more men or more hitters than James and them. You dig? But that's how much they are against spilling blood to where they won't even, some of these brothers won't even defend themselves if they're attacked.
Yeah. Yeah.
You dig? But then you had a faction of the bros that wasn't playing none of that. They rolled swords.
Yeah.
They'd have cut you down because the temple had guards, security guards. Them cats had swords, daggers. You know what I mean? So a lot of these brothers were so non-resistant, they wouldn't even defend themselves. That's how much they feared the Creator.
But
and
you know, they looked at that like it was glorious, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a one-way ticket. Like, go ahead.
You see that? That's right. Very glorious. You know, they look at Nazarenes, look at the death like it's the grave or the doorway to immortality. You know what I mean? Like they don't look at death how you think of death in the Western. They like, look, that's what's up. It all just beginning. Now, watch this. It says, all right, where you at? But when the evening, is that where you at?
Nah, go, yeah, but when the evening, yeah.
Go ahead.
But when the evening came, the Kohanim shut up the temple, and we returned to the house of James and spent the night there in prayer.
Woo!
Then before day,
Go ahead, bro. No, I was just saying that's hard. They went right into prayer.
Oh yeah. All right, so I'm gonna start over. But when the evening came and the Kohanim shut up the temple, we returned to the house of James and spent the night there in prayer. Then before daylight, we went down to Jericho to the number of 5,000 men. Then after 3 days, one of the brothers came to us from Gamaliel, whom we mentioned before, bringing to us secret tidings that enemy had received a commission from Caiaphas, the high priest, that he should arrest all who believed in Yeshua and should go to Damascus with his letters, that there also, employing the help of the unbelievers, he should make havoc among the faithful, and that he was hastening to Damascus chiefly on this account, because he believed that Kepha had fled thither.
So the enemy that's going to Damascus, y'all, is Paul.
On the road to Damascus.
The road to Damascus. So Gamaliel was letting it be known, like, look, that the man that tried to kill you just got letters from Caiaphas. You understand? To arrest anybody that believes in Yahshua. And he on his way to Damascus because he believed Peter. He already think he didn't kill James. You understand? Next he coming for Kepha, Peter.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And about 30 days thereafter, he stopped on his way while passing through Jericho going to Damascus. At that time we were absent, having gone out to the sepulchres of 2 brothers that were whitened of themselves every year, by which miracle the fury of many against us was restrained, because they saw that our brothers were held in remembrance before Yahuwah.
You know what I mean? So it's a matter of fact, Robert Eisman talked about that in one of the videos. They actually go visit the actual grave markings.
They found it.
And they found them, and then believe it or not, them grave markings mysteriously keep themselves white. Mysteriously.
Every year. I wonder like what phenomenon creates that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know it's a miracle, but it's still on an earthly, fleshly level, it's still something that's making them turn white to this day every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that proves the antiquity of what we read. that proves it to be true. Like, because this is factual, them stones, them sepulchres turn white every year. Where we going? We froze?
It froze?
Oh, no, I'm good.
You good? All right, we're going to jump over to page 133 of the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles. If y'all get some understanding so far, give us an 8 up in the chat. Bless up, bless up. I see my brother OTM, my OM Dub in the building. Bless up. Ooh-wee, bless up. They threw him off a building, threw him off the top steps. My sister Deanna Tullison. Top steps. This is very important. And that's good, though. You know, like I say, man, there's other brothers who fancy themselves as ops starting to study more. That's good. That's good. So if not anything, we can say that what we've been bringing out, making everybody get back into their books. Or get back into the book, study in the order. That what's up.
Hallelujah.
You know what I mean? That's what's up. My whole thing is, if you want to run your mouth, be about it. Now, if you ain't, you dig, then, you know, we got to label you the coward that you are for that. Like, don't run your mouth like you about all that. And then I'm like, all right, when we swinging swords. Oh, I don't do public, only private. I said, all right, you still got my number? Oh, no, I don't want to call. It might get recorded. You just did a YouTube video being recorded. What are you talking about?
Man, you called to the station. It was recorded. Yeah,
you called into the Natasha and Bullwinkle show. That was recorded.
You tagging on Facebook.
Right.
It's recorded. Public.
Hey, but don't want NehemiYAH to send you a text that we live, but you'll tag us on Facebook. Come on, bro. Use a hypocrite. And it's crazy, can't nobody see that. But you know, that's why, you know, I put out there on your post, like, look, when we swinging swords, let's get it. But you don't want that.
I did too. I told him, if he don't want to debate you, how about debating a dummy such as myself?
He ain't, bro. Listen to me. He don't even want to get down. Period. He just want to talk against him and LeCran. Y'all just want to talk against what it is and not sit down as brothers. Let's chop it up. Look, if y'all camera shy, we can do it privately. We can do it right here on StreamYard and don't even go live. And we all could be right in the back chat talking and posting scriptures and sharing. It won't even be nothing live. Let's get it. You don't even want to do that. So for anybody that's on that side, you rocking with spiritual cowards. That's cowardly. That's cowardly. You dig? Because where we from, if you get called outside, you got to come outside.
Period.
Even if you get whooped. You dig? Period. The fact that you showed up, you get all the respect from the brothers. You know what I mean, sister? Because you showed up. But for men that run their mouth and don't show up, I have no respect. I don't respect me. Look, you're not a man in my eyes. Because men bring it. Men let their nuts drag. All right, let's get it then. Let's go
after this, though, wait till you talk to Nee, though. You know what I'm saying? Nee about to tell you something else that happened today, right before this. But
NehemiYAH?
Whole nother situation, bro.
Hey, man, look, after I tried to deal with him head up and then he ain't want to do it privately, I'm not about to sit here and listen to you run your mouth. You know what I mean? Guess what I'm going to do? Throw a block party for you. Because you don't want to come head up. Then so what am I even doing, even entertaining what you got going on?
And I was just about to say that even this right here is a bit much. Because, you know what I'm saying? What you clout, I feel like you clout chasing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a whole nother, man. Whatever. Let's stick to this history and the antiquity and prove without a shadow of a doubt what it is.
Exactly.
Since we use the first century stuff, y'all leave all that other stuff out and let's swing swords. Period.
Right. That's work. Easy work. We ain't got no problem with going into the Bible. Let's do that. Like if you swim in the KJV, I'll meet you there. Let's work. Right. Easy work. Look at Nee said he called me. I handled his ass.
Yeah, I was on the John. I was on the John with him.
Hey, you was on the phone with him, Mark?
Yeah, I was on the John with him as a witness.
Oh, okay. That's what's up, man. That was boy
talking crazy, man. Boy talking crazy, man. You gotta get that together, bro.
Man. NehemiYAH, the big homie, he outside. Like he really understand what it is, and he don't even read all the stuff we read. I mean, he got it, but he don't never read it. He come right out the KJV and show you. Bang! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! You dig? So it's all good. And then he keep posting something about $9,800. Boy, what is you talking about? Who owed $9,800 to whom? Who is you talking about?
I don't know if he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about the time when you know you when you
I got jammed. You talking about when I got jammed up?
Yeah, he must be talking about that with the judge.
Well, bro, I mean, for anybody that's close to the situation, already know. It cost $25,000 to get me out. The bond out $25,000. It was a cash only bond.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
You understand? So what the one brother pulled out from the funds from the radio show was for a lawyer. For a lawyer. That was not to get me out of jail. That was for a lawyer. And 3 days later, we paid him back in full. The lawyer money that was borrowed from the radio station funds to get Mally a lawyer was paid back in full 72 hours later. Right back in Jacob's hands. So if that's what he's talking about, another lie. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
Witnesses. Is that what you're talking about? Lawyer money? Well, that was given right back. Where you at now?
Yeah, I don't know. Them people's all over the place.
Really don't know. See, what you're doing is listening to the words of people who profess themselves to be enemies of mine. But they're not going to keep it all the way solid with you. You did ask NehemiYAH. NehemiYAH know. You gotta ask the brute before. Look. You could have asked anybody. Could have asked him that without him even hearing me say this, and he'd have told you the same thing. That was given back 3 days later. So what's the problem? You mean to tell me what you put up was given right back?
Yeah, I don't.
Now, the crazy part is, if you really want to go there, I'm your brother in arms. I'm your comrade, right? Well, it cost 25 racks to get that boy back on the streets. That way I can fight my own case. I'd have easily beat that and won that. It cost 25 racks to get me back on the streets, and your boy got 125,000 in the account. Okay. Did you go get your comrade out that death dungeon? Nah, you ain't do that. You ain't do that. And you had it. That's what I'm saying. Niggas ain't real. If you real, then guess what? If I gotta spend my last to get my bro about that clink, guess what's gonna happen? We gonna get him about that clink. I'm gonna talk what I need to talk to him when I see him, and then we gonna figure out how to get him together dealing with this case. But what you don't do is leave your comrade behind enemy lines locked down. 4 hours south in Missouri in Clan County, boy. What is you talking about? Aryan Brotherhood alive in that deal. What you talking about? So anyway, lawyer money that was put up was given right back 3 days later. It cost $25,000, no 10%, $25,000 cash only to get Maccabee out. Now, nobody coming no $25,000. So guess what? They had to go toward the lawyer. That's cool. That's what it is. But guess what? What went toward the lawyer was given right back to the man that went into the funds to get it. So Mally, guess what? Mally don't owe nothing to the table. Mally don't owe nothing to the table. And see, there's a lot of brothers here that don't know that to this day, man. But look, you would know if you just hollered at me. You dig? I just seen Brother Jake. He ain't about none of that. I just seen Jake. He ain't about none of that. Look, I seen him and ain't even paid for his drink. I got you. Put that up. Tell the bruise I said shalom.
Oh, praise.
You know, it ain't, look, don't believe the hype, man. Do not believe the hype. Trust.
No. I don't even know why he bringing it up. Like it just seemed emotional and personal, and I don't know. Come study, bro. That's it. If you want your brother back, or as you say, my elder, I learned under you. I see you put all the old videos up as if people don't grow. Like, just come sit down. Class be in session, brew all the time.
Easy work.
Go back through. Like, that's it. If you go back through the information and sit down and pray and ask for the Ruach to lead you and guide you into all truth, like, you gonna see what it's hitting for.
Exactly.
Like, come study. Come sit down and study. That's it. It's not hard.
Right. And you ain't got to worry about ad hominems, brother, or false narratives. That we ain't into that. Now the niggas you call elder into that. You know what I mean? That's the reason why you think they didn't even accept no fade or no sit down. Them boys know I don't owe them nothing. And my whole time on the radio, I never got paid for nothing. Because I wasn't doing it for that. You dig? I'm not here to get paid by Jacob Israel. You crazy? We here to spit the scriptures and bring light to our people. That's it.
And
you
look,
know what I mean?
Me,
going on the record, what was borrowed for a lawyer, for a retainer for a lawyer, was given back. And I dare the nigga say it wasn't. I dare him to say it wasn't. Huh? We got receipts.
Well, man, look,
got receipts.
For me, man, shout out to them elders. I still got copious amounts of love for them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. But
but they know what it is, man. We look, they know good and well because I'm one of their little brothers. They know good and well. Ain't no way in the world you shooting at me and I ain't gonna shoot back. You know what I mean? I may let, because you're an elder, I may let certain things slide, but eventually I'm gonna have to say something unless you get yourself together. You understand? Because everybody outside of St. Louis don't know you. I know these men, know them.
Yeah.
Know them well, You know what I mean? Know them well. No government names and all that. No family, no grandchildren, no children. Know them well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it ain't what people think. People allow that radio personality to have you thinking that's some truth. It's not. You know what I mean? And bruh know that. And any of the brothers know that. I just bumped into another brother this weekend. We be out, we bump into each other. Y'all, it be love. Hey, what up? Shalom. You know what I mean? We gonna talk about the elephant in the room, man. I don't even feel like talking. Okay, you want to talk about it? It's all good. What's up, bro? How you doing? That's it. And one brother Buddha was like, "For what?" I got charged with tampering with a judicial office. They look. The charge is basically behind that. I reasonably calculated to threaten a judge and a prosecutor. In other words, they afraid of the knowledge I had. It was over a traffic ticket. I sent down laws dealing with the IRS and the Internal Revenue Code and showed that, look, these traffic citations are unlawful according to your own laws. And they was like, damn, what kind of nigga know this? And you know what I mean? Notified the FBI and they started doing their investigation. Y'all was over a traffic ticket. But I caught them in their lie. You know what I mean? And so instead of saying, standing down, throwing the ticket out, they didn't call the judge, got the FBI involved. They start researching the YouTube videos, running the car plates, the plates on our cars. Because we street teach, we used to sit in front of our cars. They run the plates on our cars, run up in our people's houses. They thought they found a mini Taliban. And all I did was send down paperwork letting them know, drop this unlawful citation because according to the very laws y'all got on the books, it's unlawful. That's it. You dig? Niggas got scared. People ain't know if I was dealing drugs, if I done killed somebody. It was all type of stuff floating around. Y'all was over a traffic ticket. And to this day, I be in court fighting, you know, getting certain stuff dropped and all. That's just what I do. You dig? But they did their homework on me and sent them people at me. You dig? They thought they ran into a young commander of Taliban or something. I'm like, so when they pulled me over, I laughed at them. I said, what y'all looking for? You know what I mean? Sir, are you on? I'm like, of course I'm on. It's Missouri. Where is that? I'm like, it's right there. Poke my tires up and all that. Man, but long story short is this, y'all. Long story short is this. I was charged with tampering with a judicial officer, a Class C felony. You understand? and the money that was put up was retainer for a lawyer, and that was given back. So for the man to say, I got Mally out of jail, that's another damn lie, because how much it costs to get me out? $25,000 cash only, no 10%.
Hey, Hebrew.
So I guess what?
Hey.
I had a lawyer. That's it.
Hey, I'm about to go check on that situation real quick.
Go ahead, I'm here. Come on back when you're ready.
All right.
All right, temptation of MALAKIMAC. Just to let y'all know, we transparent over here, man. Ain't no thing. It's all good. And to this day, these heathens don't like us. Okay, bang. Shalom, brother Malaki. This David Mazan. I just finished the Meats of Devils, brother. That was fire 100. Still off of the meats for 1 year now. But what you brought out was profound. All praises to the Creator. That's right. All praises to the Most High, man. All praises. He said, I'm telling you, brother, Malaki is not for everyone. Yeah, I know, bro. I'm a whole nother monster. But it's love, though, man. Like, I ain't into, it's all love. I just want to chop it up with brothers and sisters. You dig? So if he in here talking about 9,800, the only thing he could possibly be talking about is that lawyer money that was given back 3 days later. Other than that, I don't know what this Negro is talking about or what he's hearing. King Kong Buddha. Yeah, it's behind us, brother. You dig? We all good. My brother Gabar EL, my brother out of KC. Bless up, bless up. Selah Shalom TV, peace to the righteous gods and goddesses. Creator gang in the building. Bless up, brother. All right, temptation of Mashiach. Now, this is important. This is Peter again talking about Mashiach being tempted. All right. Now, we've been showing you that James, the Messiah's brother, is the leader of the movement. It is not Paul. We just showed you Paul tried to kill James. Just threw him off the top, tried to kill him, left him paralyzed. Thought he was dead. Huh? And that don't mean that anybody from living a certain way can't be redeemed. I'm never saying that. You understand? But naturally, you're going to look at this man with a jaundiced eye. You know what I'm saying? You don't do nobody in the streets like that. Look, you don't do slave master like that. Slave master been hanging and whipping and peeling skin and doing all that. Huh? You don't just, he just get to come around you and say, voila, I believe in your God now. And you just fully believe and trust him. No, he got to earn your trust. Paul doing the same thing, was murdering, killing, destroying the Nazarenes and the Essenes. So naturally, people gonna look at you. If you had to change your heart, that's natural for every man, woman, and child to look at you suspect. Man, you suspect. That's an old boy that murdered all our people. They naturally gonna look at him suspect. Now watch this. This we would have you know surely that a demon has no power against a man unless one voluntarily submit himself to his desires. Whence even that one who is the prince of immorality. Who's the prince of immorality? You dealing with Slick Willie. You understand? The carnal self, Satan, approached him who, as we have said, is appointed of Yahweh, King of Peace, tempting him and began to promise him all the kavod, all the glory of the world, because he knew that when he had offered this to others for the sake of deceiving them, they had worshipped him. Therefore, disobedient as he was and unmindful of himself, which indeed is the special peculiarity of immorality, he presumed that he should be worshipped by him, by whom he knew that he was to be destroyed. Therefore, our master confirming, about this, Yahshua confirming the worship of one creator, one Yah, answered him, it is written, you will worship the creator and him only will you serve. And he, talking about the devil, terrified by this answer and fearing lest the true obedience of the one and true Yahweh should be restored, hastened straightway to send forth into this world false prophets, false shalakim or false apostles, and false marine, false teachers, who should speak indeed in the name of Messiah, but should accomplish the will of the demon. Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Accomplish the will of the demon. but they will be speaking in the name of Messiah. It says at the temptation of Messiah, because the Messiah was like, I'm never bowing to you. I'm never bowing to the adversary. See, the adversary got fearful and mad. He got afraid because he's like, dang, he about to institute the worship of the one true creator back into this earth. So guess what the adversary does? He gets in the mind and spirits of those, and guess what? He sends out false prophets, false apostles, and false teachers. All because Messiah didn't fall to his temptation. You see that? Now, this is the reason we're going there. You need to see this. Now, watch this. So this is called false. You say shlikim, that's Hebrew for apostles. Now, watch this. I'm going to show y'all that. It says, so this is Peter again, letting everybody know. So observe the greatest caution. So observe the greatest caution. Hold on, myself. John is. I thought I was on some 007 Yahweh. Okay, so observe the greatest caution that you believe no teacher. Look at this. So observe the greatest caution that you believe no teacher, unless he bring from Jerusalem the testimony of Yaakov, James, Yahshua's brother.
That's it. Close the scripts. Close it. That's it. Class over.
Class over with.
Class over with.
Class over with. There it is.
Read that again.
It says, so observe the greatest caution that you believe no teacher, unless he bring from Jerusalem, the testimony of Yaakov, James, Yahshua's brother, or of whosoever may come after him.
Simon Bar, his brother.
For no one, look, y'all remember, this is Peter talking. Kepha. Now look at
rock.
This. Right. For no one, including Paul, unless he is going up there and there has been approved as a fit and faithful teacher for preaching the word of Messiah, unless I say he brings a testimonial thence, is by any means to be received. Do you hear this? That means if Paul is teaching something that James didn't sign off on, Paul is not to be received. Paul is not to be received if he's teaching something that has not been signed off on by YHWH'S, Yahshua HaMashiach's biological brother, the leader of the Nazarene movement when Yahshua transitioned. There it is.
That's it.
Go ahead, DC Sniper. Talk to me. What you see?
That's I ain't got nothing else to say. This is a first century document. We're dealing with the first century historical biblical figure who was the leader of the movement of Yahushua, whom we all profess. That's it.
That's it.
What else is we talking about? Now it's time to get into why they quieted this brother and why we don't see the books of the disciples as heavy as you see Paul, the enemy of these brothers.
That's right.
And it shows that he was the enemy when you get into the New Testament. And this is why it looks like he's contradicting himself.
Yeah.
Because he going back and forth. Like what Malaki and them been bringing out is the truth, dog. There is conflict inside of the scriptures. Period. And Paul was the enemy. Paul did his own thing. I'm not saying that Paul ain't have Paul had knowledge of the Torah. Like, I'm not saying that Paul didn't say some things that hit like steel. But then a lot of stuff that Paul said is no good. James and them ain't signed off on it.
Right.
The Messiah's brother.
Whatever he
ain't signed. Paul never came and checked in. Paul never went through the trial. Like these Nazarenes, literally, they had a what you call it?
Like a 6-year probationary period. 7-year probationary period. Yeah.
You had to be initiated into this and know how to work the scriptures and things of that nature. So then you had to go through James and them because the Messiah left it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He set it up before he was murdered, like, or before he ascended. He set it up that way. So we supposed to just believe Paul, like, who nobody witnessed, you know, the HaMashiach come to him. Well, I mean, you got the, you know, the people who would supposedly have been with him, but even there's two different accounts. But we supposed to just throw away James in the order and the Jerusalem Council and things of that nature. We overlooking all of this, right?
Right.
Come on, we gotta make it make sense.
Yeah. It's
you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying by not being so religious and mindset, because you're doing the same thing that the Christians do, that you bang against so hard. You stuck in the same. You stuck in the same thing.
Absolutely.
So make no mistake, like, man, get acquainted with James and who he was, because what's the script out that say for heaven and earth, for the sake of heaven and earth, James was
that's in that Gospel of Thomas, man. That's in
Gospel man. That don't hit, boy.
Yep, Thomas asked. He asked Messiah. He was like, "Who our leader once you leave?" He said, "Wherever you at in the world, find James the just. Find my brother." You dig? For whose sake the world was made. I was like, dang. Yeah,
for whose sake the world was made. Yeah. And why did they quiet James? You know what I'm saying? These are things that we got to ask ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Why Paul dominates the New Testament? Where are the disciples' works? They're being presented, but a lot of people choose to reject it. You're rejecting it. You know what I'm saying? You better, man, you better pray that Hebrews professing this is wrong, because it's going to be some, like the elder says, it's going to be hell to pay the captain. Yeah. For real. And it's been brought to you. It's been brought to you. What would Jesus do? WWJD. What would he do? How you going to know if you ain't looking into his movement, his sect? Like, we were so quick, you know, years ago to say, oh, fourth tribe, sect of the Nazarenes. You know what I'm saying? I used to say Essene, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing years later it would, you know, become the same thing. But we were so quick to say, you know what I'm saying, fourth tribe, sect of the Nazarenes. Now that this Nazarene situation has come out, it ain't sect of the Nazarenes no more, huh? You know what I'm saying? It ain't sect of the Nazarenes no more. Well, not for, you know, for some of us it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to bang it. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be as close to HaMashiach as possible. So if I know he was a Nazarene, and he adhered to Nazarene customs and was consecrated from the womb, like, I'm going to go and do the research to see for myself. Yeah. And that's where we at, and that's what we need to be doing for real, yeah. My bad, I said Jan. That's a DC slang, bro.
That's a DC thing, Jan. Slim Mo Bob, Jan. So look, we see right here, right? He say, unless I say he brings a testimonial, thence is by any means to be received, right? Look at this. But let neither prophet nor apostle be looked for you by you at this time, besides us. You repeat the same that Keefa saying? Stop looking for other apostles. Let nobody be received besides us, for there is one prophet of truth. There's one NehemiYAH, whose words we 12 apostles preach. For he is the accepted year of the Most High, having us apostles as his 12 months. He said us 12 apostles represent the 12 months of the Most High's year, which represents Messiah. That's cold. Each one of us represent a month in the calendar.
And a tribe. That's man.
But for what reason the world itself was made, or what diversities have occurred in it, and why our master, coming for its restoration, has chosen and sent us 12 apostles, will be explained more at length at another time. Meantime, he has commanded us to go forth to preach and to invite you to the supper of the heavenly King, which the Father has prepared for the marriage of his Son, and that we should give you wedding garments, that is, the favor of immersion, mikvah, which whosoever obtains as a spotless robe, with which he is to enter to the supper of the King, ought to beware that it be not in any part of it stained with sin, and so he being rejected as unworthy and reprobate. I just wanted to go there first to show that it's already established by the top apostles. Whoever called themselves teaching and didn't go get stamped valid, their doctrine didn't get stamped valid by YHWH'S, Yahshua HaMashiach's brother, they are not to be received, nor should they be looked for as approved as a faithful teacher. Y'all got some understanding so far? Give me a Yahoo up in the chat. You did. We just cooking a little pace. We ain't even warmed up yet, my brother.
Ain't about nothing.
It ain't about nothing to it. Ain't nothing new, baby. All right, all prayers. See everybody in the chat. We good. All right, so look, I want to go to Acts, the 1st chapter next. All right, because that was Nazarene. That was Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, my brother David Mazon. Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, or the recognitions of Clementine homilies, Clement of Rome. Yeah, you find all
Clement that was brought out.
It did. So we just learned. That's right. James was a shot caller. That's what my Joseph Evans is saying. James was a shot caller. He the one that run it. You got to go it through you. You got to run it through him. All right. Now let's go to Acts, the 1st chapter. Let's show what does it require. What does it take to even be an apostle? Because either Paul is a real apostle or he's self-proclaimed. One or the other. You did. Either these men out here today are real apostles. Some certain Israelites call themselves apostles, or they're self-proclaimed. Let's go see what it takes. Let's go see what it takes to be an apostle of Yahshua. All right, straight scripture, no add-ons, no additives, no nothing. All right, let me stop sharing that real quick. Then jump on back in. We're going to go to Acts 1. We're going to start at verse 15. My brother Osarel in the building. Bless up, King. My beloved brother from the Chitty Chat, baby. Good to see you in the building. Shem Mordecai in the building. Bless up. Marcus Israel in the building. Bless up. Brother Yahudah. I see y'all in the building. Bless up, man. Peace, love, light, and healing to you, brothers. All right, let's share the screen. Show y'all something real quick. Now, this is what we do. We ain't new to it. We ain't new to this at all, man. Easy work. All right, YHWH'S, the DC sniper. We're going to start around verse 15. And y'all write this down. This is for anybody today claiming they an apostle, or even for Paul to claim he an apostle. If I stepped up and said I was an apostle, I would have to fit this criteria right here. And if not, guess what? Go sit down somewhere, Negro. You ain't no apostle. It's just that simple. All right. So look, let's get into it.
All right.
Okay.
Acts 1:15.
Bro, say if I say I'm an astronaut, does that make me one? Nope. Paul made this stuff up. Yeah, there's a lot to it. But we're gonna get into it, right? Acts 1. Let's start at 15, brother.
All right, here we go. And in those days, Peter stood up in the midst of the disciples and said, the number of names together were about 120.
Stop right there. Stop
Men
right there.
and brethren.
Stop right there. So after, other than the 12, the original Yahshua movement in its early stage was 120 heads.
And
This is
that
after
don't
he
grew
got, in
quick.
the early stage, it was 120 men and women that was up in that upper room in Acts the 2nd chapter. The fiery tongues and all that. So it went from 120 to thousands. All right. So 120.
Quickly though.
Yeah, within days. All right, go ahead.
All right, men and brethren, this scripture must needs have been fulfilled, which the Holy Spirit by the mouth of David spake before concerning Judas, which was guide to them that took Yeshua. For he was numbered with us and had obtained part of this ministry.
Come on.
Now this man purchased a field with the reward of iniquity, and falling headlong, he burst asunder in the midst, and all his bowels gushed out.
Talk about how Judas killed himself. Now trip out this. There are 2 accounts of Judas' death in the Bible. Did he die twice? No. You know what I mean? One say, like this one right here says, he fell headlong. Y'all, that means he threw himself off a cliff head first. That was headlong, man. The other one say he hung himself. You know what I mean? But that one right there say falling headlong. That means he went head first off a cliff, and his guts or his bowels gushed out. All right, go ahead.
And it was known unto all the dwellers at Jerusalem, in so much as that field is called in their proper tongue Al-Qadama, is to say the field of blood. For it is written in the book of Hold
on one second. Let me All right, y'all. My bad. I had to handle that real quick. All right, where we at?
119.
Okay, let's work.
Nah, 120.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Go ahead, bro.
For it is written in the book of Psalms, let his habitation be desolate, and let no man dwell therein, and his bishopric let another take.
Right.
Wherefore of these men which have companied with us all the time that the Master Yahshua went in and out among us.
Hold on, what did it say? Knows what it say?
Wherefore of these men which have companied with us all the time that the Master Yahshua went in and out among us.
Y'all see that? First prerequisite is you had to been a witness. You had to witness Yahshua when he was alive, going in and out from amongst the disciples. Criteria number one to being an apostle, you had to physically know and meet Yahshua. You had to be a witness of him coming in and going out from amongst the disciples. Criteria number one, you had to physically know Yahshua in the flesh. I mean, everybody claiming they're disciples, apostles, right? Step one, you had to know him. Go ahead.
Beginning from the baptism of Yochanan or John until the same day he was taken up from us, must one be ordained to be a witness with us of his resurrection.
See, so you had to been a witness of Yahshua's whole ministry, starting from the immersion that he got in the Jordan River by John the Baptist, all the way up until he ascended. Huh?
So that alleviates your boy right there.
Paul can't be an apostle based off Acts chapter 1, verse 15 through 22. He never met him.
They say the apostle
coming in
Paul,
and going out. You dig? And you witnessing him going in and out had to start with the entire ministry from the baptism all the way up to the resurrection. So that means not just Paul, ain't nobody an apostle today. Nobody. Because you had to know Yahshua physically to be an apostle. You had to witness him going in and out from amongst the disciples and the apostles, from the beginning of his ministry to the end. And if you don't fit that criteria, you're not an apostle.
So how then is it that Paul knows more about Hamashiach than the disciples?
He can't be. It's impossible.
He got to make it make sense.
Yeah, it's impossible. And then as you keep going, they choose another brother, you know what I mean? And he get it done. But I want to show, you know what I mean? Matter of fact, let's keep reading. 23.
And they appointed two, Joseph called Barsabbas, who was surnamed Justus, and Matthias. And they prayed and said, Thou Master, which knowest the hearts of all men, show whether of these two hast thou chosen, that he may take part of this ministry and apostleship from which Judas by transgression fell, that he might go to his own place.
Yeah, I see this.
And they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell upon Matthias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles.
So there are no apostles today. Geno Jennings is not no apostle. No, he's not. I seen the video where a Muslim handled him on the dietary law. Handled him. He did, but Geno Jennings is not no apostle. The elders of GMS are not apostles. You understand? Nathaniel of IUIC is not an apostle. You dig? And Paul of Tarsus was never an apostle. That's why he was always trying to defend. Ain't I'm an apostle? Haven't I seen Messiah? My answer to those who question me or my authority is this. Well, you never ask yourself who was questioning his apostleship. Oh, that was worth him even responding to. Because some people are peons. They ain't worth responding to. But who had authority enough to get Paul's attention to make him respond? How about
leaders
Paul,
of the Council of Jerusalem? Yeah,
how about Paul, y'all, was against or was teaching something different than what the apostles were teaching? That's the truth, man. That's the truth. It did. We about to go show some of it in a second. All right. Well, how long we been? About 2 hours. We can do a part 2. What you got to do tomorrow? You want to do a part 2 tomorrow?
Man, it's whatever, bro.
You know what I mean? You think we didn't give him enough?
That'll give me time to download. That'll give me time to download what I want to really bring out.
Yeah, because you got some stuff I want to let them see, start sharing the screen and all that.
Yeah,
you know I mean? You dig? So that really ain't no problem. I'm gonna go further in the action show. Here go James. This is what
because we gotta go into Acts 15, we gotta go into Acts 21. Like it's Acts a lot 12. We gotta get into. Yeah, Acts 12,
Acts 15, Acts 21. You dig? Then we got to get into Paul's letter. We got to get into Galatians. Y'all gonna see. Yeah. Look, he called James and them out by name.
Yeah.
You dig? And it becomes real clear when you read in a different version. He say those who are perceived to be somewhat pillars makes no difference to me. James, Peter, and John. God accepts no man person. That's in Galatians 2. Yeah. You see? Because what Paul was teaching was different than them. So they would be sending men to check Paul in his teaching. Like that ain't what we told you to teach. So then Paul, if you go back to Galatians 1, Paul say, though we or an angel from heaven bring you any other gospel than that which you have received, count them cursed. Who he cursing? Who got a different gospel? Who would bring the church of Galatia and the church of Corinth and the church in Antioch a different message than what Paul was bringing? Who? Who had the authority? You see? That he had a problem with the disciples. Think about it. Paul got into it with Barnabas. Yeah. Paul got into it with Peter. Paul got into it with James. And as you keep reading Paul, guess what Paul say? It goes from the gospel to my gospel. My gospel. He had his own.
And peep this, like Peter was already the one who was assigned to go speak to the Gentiles by James. It was never Paul.
Yeah.
It was never Paul.
And you know what's
like
crazy?
Paul ain't come check in until later, man. We gonna get into it.
Yeah, like Acts in the Acts, like later on in the Acts, he say, "Fine, man." Galatians, he tell it all. He tell it all right in Galatians. Like, look, this is what it is. He bring up James, Peter. He bring up James, Peter, and John. He claimed he checked Peter based off table fellowship. You know what I mean? Him and Barnabas get into it. Like, so it was something totally different that was going on, is what I'm saying. A lot of people don't understand that. The Messiah had left structure, order, leadership. We showed you real quick today. A lot of people didn't even know the Messiah had brothers. James was the one that got the lead. That's why in Acts 15, when they show up in Jerusalem, they got to go check in with James. Barnabas even knew it. You out here teaching, you got to go holler at James. You see? And that's what it's about. And when you slow down and start seeing everywhere Paul got a problem, well, hold on, is he talking about the disciples? He talking about long hair is feminine. Huh? That's in 1 Corinthians. Niggas say long hair is feminine.
It's unnatural.
Who in his day would have had the long hair? It would have been the Nazarenes or the Nazarites, the brothers who took that vow. You know what I mean? A lot of them brothers never shaved. So, okay, you're talking about the hair length. The locks, you got a problem with the locks, right? He also, when you get into Colossians, Paul got a problem with those who are in spiritual communion with angels. You know what I mean? Yeah. But if you know anything about the Nazarene and Essene literature, brothers commune with the forces that are around them in the morning and in the evening daily. You know what I mean? Because even the scripture tell you in Psalms 104 that the angels are what? Ministering spirits made out of fire, sent here to help those who are heirs of salvation. But Paul talk about those who talk to angels in Colossians. He's against that. And then in Romans 14, he calls those who choose not to eat the flesh, who eat herbs, he called them brothers weak, meaning weak in faith.
And look, let me say something on that. I don't even see. I haven't eaten the flesh in over a year, right?
Me either. Yeah.
It takes way more discipline and way more sacrifice and strength to put down that which you have always eaten. You know what I'm saying? That takes strength. That's not weak. Like, that's not weak. So what is that? What is he saying? Like, he's taking straight shots. You know what I'm saying? But try it. Try it. Put it down and see. You gonna crave the flesh. Like, I still ride by. I love Jamaican food. You know what I'm saying? Ride by and smell that jerk chicken growing, boy. But you know, Mally, you already know I've been saying chicken was unclean. If we gonna keep it on a Levitical level or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I still, smell that thing and like, dang, I miss that John Lou. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it takes way more strength, discipline, dedication to put it down. So how does that make you weak?
Right.
I think it makes you weak if you use that as an excuse. And I always say, like, if your stomach is your God, then just say that.
Just say it. That's it.
If your stomach is your God, then say that. And this ain't even about eating meat or not eating meat. You know what I'm saying? It's just about the Nazarene way. Who was in charge?
Yeah.
That's why we bringing James out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Mally gonna slow it down for those in the back who may have missed it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's about what HaMashiach did, his ministry, what he left. So and that it just so happens to be part of it is Slam put down them flesh pots.
Yeah.
Like if you gonna believe in HaMashiach, believe in HaMashiach all the way. Believe that his sacrifice, believe he's the king, the priest, the high priest, the judge, the lamb. Believe that. Or I don't know, maybe you don't believe, or maybe your understanding is just, I don't know, whatever it is. Like, Slim, you need to question and get into it. You know what I'm saying? Stop. And you're believing to choose a lie.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
But yeah, I digress. I'm just that little, when he say that about the herbs, you know what I'm saying, and being weak, I hate that because people don't know how much discipline and sacrifice and to put that down. Like, you believe in Christ or Hamashiach so much that you're willing to give up this flesh or give up the flesh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that it kind of pisses me off when I hear that. And then when people say that, you know what I'm saying? Because all y'all doing is saying what Paul said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we saying what Hamashiach and then his James said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's it. We can come back.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And look, no doubt, man. And the crazy part about it, a lot of brothers quote post the 1 Timothy 4. In the last days, some shall depart from the faith, getting heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, commanding to abstain from meats and forbidding to marry and all that, right? You know, it's a doctrine of the devil. Mally and them lost the light. You real me? But until you get into the history, you don't realize Paul is talking about those Nazarites and Nazarenes who are leading the movement. He talking about the disciples in them. That's who he talking about. He don't agree with them. He ain't talking about some in 2022, a man named Malachi Maccabee gonna tell y'all to stop eating, chewing on animals.
Man, we dealing in the 1st century.
Yeah, it's the 1st century. Look, he got static with the brothers who don't eat flesh. He got static with the brothers that got long locks. He got static with the brothers that eat herbs. He got static with the brothers that's into spiritual communion and vibrating higher and serving the Creator. You understand? He got static with them brothers. You see what I'm saying? So that's how he can write the Spirit speaketh expressly. Bro, look, true about this. It ain't no prophecy if he already got beef with the brothers that's doing it. No. What you mean in the last days, some going to depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, having their conscience seared with a hot iron, commanding to abstain from meats. Bruh, it was already commanded in his day to abstain from. Acts 15:29.
Acts 15:21.
Abstain from meats offered to idols. So he ain't prophesying about me 2021, 2022.
Right.
He is speaking on the fact that the leaders of Yahshua's movement, you understand, are plant-based. They're not chewing on animals. It's against their code.
Look, even before them, you can go back in the Maccabean history. In the Maccabees, them brothers withdrew to the wilderness and ate herbs so that they wouldn't even be around none of the pollution or the meat eating, and they had took cattle and all of that with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is before then. Like, part of the Maccabees was quote unquote Nazarites, Nazarene, Essene. Like, it's easy work.
Yeah, T Brew, my brother T Brew in the building. He say, even so, where lied the transgression is my question. T Brew, the crazy part is you read the transgression the night I ran into you. I took you to Leviticus 17, 1 through 7. I took you to Leviticus 7, 11 through 18. The transgression is if it's meats or flesh offered to idols. The transgression is this: you're guilty of bloodshed. You stand in jeopardy of being cut off. The flesh you eating is abomination, and it's considered offered to devils. That's where the transgression is at. That's the transgression. It's going against what James commanded Paul, is going directly against the laws in the Torah concerning processing and properly preparing. Everybody eating flesh today, but nobody is even talking about how was this animal killed. Was it killed according to the law that I say I follow? How long it's been dead? Because you can't eat dead flesh. It's been dead longer than 2 days. And look, once you start asking yourself those questions, T Brew, then you be like, well, dang, no, you can't lawfully eat, because you can't lawfully kill it according to how the Torah say kill it. And that's if you're dealing with the flesh laws. All right. So T Brew, that either you was listening that night or not, but I sense you a sincere brother. All right. When me and NehemiYAH ran into you that night at my Deuce crib, right? You was the one reading the scriptures. We went to Acts 15 and 29. Meats offered to idols. You remember that? You said it says meats offered to idols. This is what you said. It don't say meats. I said exactly. But what is meats offered to idols? What if the meat that you eating today consists of it being offered to idols or a devil? Let's go on back. Then we went to Leviticus 17, brother. 1 through 7. You got a question about the fish. Jump down to verse 13. Then we went to Leviticus 7, 11 through 18. Right? The sin is you stand in jeopardy of being cut off. You shed innocent blood, and what you're eating is considered offered to devils or idols.
According to Leviticus.
That's the transgression in it. It's real simple. You know what I mean? So it's real simple. I go back and reread. Maybe you didn't remember all the scriptures we gave you, but I just gave them to you again. Matter of fact, NehemiYAH got all of them. Send all them scriptures about meats off the idols to T Brew. T Brew, if you gonna read all of it and study it, then send it to him. But if you ain't gonna read it like some of the bros do, they all okay. You know what I mean? But don't got no answer. And if we wrong on the breakdown, T Brew, you get us straight and show us what is flesh offered to idols consists of according to the Torah. Show it to us. Show it to us. You know what I mean? Give us your breakdown. And we'll listen to it. You dig? And then, we're going to see if it hold up. But T Brew, you remember, look, we seen you and I was like, look, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room or not. And then we got it, right? We got to talking about it. So the sin is in the very scriptures. NehemiYAH going to send you the scriptures, but T Brew, look, read them and make sure you get back at us. Don't leave us out there because that's all the brothers do now. We'll give them the scriptures and they go quiet. No, read them and let's dialogue about it.
Hey, T Brew said, he said, Kane, 100, been plant-based almost a half a year now. The question was presented for the ones who don't know. We solid. All
right, T Brew. Man, I ain't even know, brother. I ain't even know. That's what's up. You know what? That was about the time we bumped into the brew. And we got it on right on the north side in my Deuce crib. You know what I mean? That what's up, brother. All praises, man. Hey, man. Hey, I praise the Most High. Hey, bro, may you be blessed on your journey, YAH'KI. You're going to feel a lot better, man. I'm telling you. Okay, I'd say I follow. It's 100. All right, that's what's up. I ain't know. That's what's up. All right, somebody else.
Hey,
go ahead. Would you say, YAH'KI?
I was just gonna say before we got out, can you pull up in the Gospel of the Nazarene, chapter 46? I just want to read that jump.
Yep.
As we close out, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. Now trip on this. I say right here, this is a good question. He said, but can we say that when Paul was on the road to Damascus, the Messiah said, "Why persecute thou me?" And he was transformed. And can we say that he was ordained by the Messiah to be an apostle? Look, that's an excellent question. The thing about this, RJ Israel, is this. Go read all the accounts of Paul's conversion on the road to Damascus. All right, go read it in Acts 9, Acts 22, Acts 26, and Galatians, the 1st chapter. And tell me if those 4 accounts line up. They should harmonize. If Messiah came to you right now, you gonna remember every detail of that stuff. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be no discrepancies. You dig? So understand this. Go ahead, bro.
Now I was about to say, and then with that, like for me, like being as though we know that Hamashiach left a certain order, I feel like he would have went to James and said, "Hey Jay, like I'm about to do this." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm about to, because it's a lot. I feel like he would have went to James and let James know. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what it is.
Yeah. He would have been. Look, if Messiah sets this order up, and then Messiah in spirit comes to Paul, why wouldn't Messiah let Paul know, you go check in with my brother? You understand? Yeah. Because about this, there's this understanding that Paul is the apostle to the Gentiles. When all the apostles was teaching or out there speaking the good news amongst the Gentiles, all of them. That's in the book of Mark, ain't it? Going to all the world, teaching all the nations, whatever I command you. They already had their mission to go forth and teach way before Paul even showed up. And you got Peter in Acts 10 already doing it. Way before Paul ever showed face. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, yes, you're going to read in the Bible that Paul, he had an encounter with the risen Messiah. You're going to read that. But my challenge to the brothers and sisters is read all 4 accounts of his conversion. Acts the 9th chapter, Acts the 22nd chapter, Acts the 26th chapter, and Galatians the 1st chapter. Those are 4 accounts of that conversion. And see if you can make it line up. And if it don't line up, then we got a problem. You see what I'm saying?
By the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let every matter be established.
Yeah. Why wouldn't the Messiah send this man to check in with the movement he had already set up? Why? Because he was the apostle to the Gentiles. They was already teaching amongst the Gentiles. So now what? It don't make sense. It don't make sense. So yes, and then if you get into further of his letters, you'll start seeing that he's actually defending his apostleship because people questioning him. He starts saying stuff like, "Ain't I'm an apostle? Haven't I seen Christ?" Well, my response to those who question my authority is this: because he wasn't teaching what he was commanded to teach. He started doing his own thing. It did. Now, true about this: if he was teaching what the disciples and apostles taught, they all would have got along. You got right in there. He get into it with Peter, Barnabas, and James. Well, that means he must have been teaching something different.
And then it was already bad blood between them. You know what I'm saying? He tried to kill James.
Right. So why wouldn't he? True about this. So if Messiah, the brother of the man you just tried to kill, appeared to you to prove you humble and have really been visited by his brother, don't you got to go look at this man right in the face and beg for his forgiveness because you just tried to kill that man a couple years earlier? Huh? That would have really showed if you was humble. You got to go holler at this man you tried to kill. And say, "Man, that was blasphemy. Hey, I'm here to work, man. Let me know."
You supposed to do that anyway. If you offend your brother, you got to go get that right before you can even take anything to the altar or do any type of work. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, bro. So that's something to check out, man. You dig, man? All praise to the Most High. Let's read us a psalm. Let's read us a psalm or something.
Hey, hold on. Go to the Gospel of the Nazarene, chapter 46.
I got you. Chapter 46.
I'm gonna just read the jump real quick, and then we be You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I just want to get it out of the way.
I got you, bro. I got you. I got that already. Matter of fact, let me go to my phone.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Yeah, I already got that. But yeah, man,
y'all get this book, man. Y'all get this book, man. And when you get this book, read the historical context in this book. Don't just pick the joint up and start reading. Like, read everything so you will know. Like, this is a for sure first century document.
Yeah.
Since we're dealing in the first century.
That's right. Read. Oh, hey, look, when I read that historical introduction and preface and all that, I was like, good night, boy. It's over.
Facts.
It's
Facts.
over. Like, dang. Like, that's everything you need right there. Everything you need right there to properly defend what it is. It's right in the beginning of that deal.
And this book is spoke of all in historical documents. The Gospel of the Hebrews, the Gospel of the Nazarenes, the Gospel of the Ebionites. Like, it's spoke about. Like, it's factual. And it's a primal source of Matthew. It's called the Aramaic Matthew.
Easy work, man. I probably don't want to believe.
But you know, they say, oh, this John was, you know, the white man wrote this, and man, this John has been around.
Yeah, based off, like, somebody can say that in their feelings, you dig. But when it come down to, all right, well, history and scholarship, you dig, you gonna get, and that's why don't nobody really want to debate it. You dig, because they already know, bro.
And that's the thing. All the scholars, the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, spoke of by scholars, Gospel of the Nazarene. Like, dog, if you can't refute the information. If you do, then you choose to believe a lie, period. Study for yourself.
All right, let me share this real quick. I got you, bro. Share screen. Entire screen. Jump down.
So, I mean, since, you know, we follow HaMashiach, who the world deems as Christ, and believe, you know, that he was a Nazarene and he adhered to Nazarene customs. Oh yeah, it's called the Gospel of the Holy 12 too. But adhered to Nazarene customs. We're gonna read the giving of the law by Yahshua.
Okay, you wanna jump down to right when he talking about the law, or what you want to do?
I mean,
you read the whole thing?
You got time? I can bang it out real quick.
Okay,
I don't want just,
you
know.
Let's do it. I got time, bro. Absolutely.
The transfiguration on the mount, the giving of the law.
Hold on, let me take this off the screen too. Let me take NehemiYAH off the screen real quick, so everybody can see.
Get up off the screen, Slim.
Get him above there, Bane. All right. Now, let me go back.
And bro, stop me if something jump out at you.
Okay. That's work, all right?
All right, the transfiguration. Oh, this is the Gospel of the Nazarenes, chapter 46, the transfiguration on the mount and the giving of the law. After 6 days, when the Feast of Tabernacles was nigh at hand, Yahshua took the 12 and brought them up to a high mountain. And as he was praying, the fashion of his countenance was changed, and he was transfigured before them. His face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared to him Moses and Elijah, talking with him and speaking of the law and of his purpose, which he should accomplish at Jerusalem. And Moses spoke, saying, this is he of whom I foretold, saying, a prophet from the midst of the brethren, like unto me, shall the Eternal send to you, and that which the Eternal speaks to him shall he speak to you, and to him shall you listen. And whoso will not obey shall bring upon themselves their own undoing. Then Peter said to Yahshua, Rabbi, it is good for us to be here. If you will, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. And while he yet spoke, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and 12 rays as of the sun issued from behind the cloud. And a voice came out of the cloud which said, this is my beloved son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear him. And when the disciples heard it, they fell on their faces and were greatly amazed. And Yahshua came and touched them and said, arise and be not afraid. And when they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no man save Yahshua only, and 6 glories were seen upon him. And Yahshua said to them, behold, a new law I give to you, which is not new, but old. Even as Moses gave the 10 commandments to Israel after the flesh, so also I restore them to you for the kingdom of the true Israel after the Spirit. For who are the true Israel? Even they of every nation and tribe who work righteousness, love, and have mercy, and keep the commandments of the law. These are the true Israel. And standing, Yahshua spoke, saying, hear, O Israel, the master creator is one. Many are my seers and my prophets. In me all live and move and have sustenance. Ye shall worship the one eternal unbegotten master creator, of whom all things are made. Ye shall not take away the life of any creature, nor yet torment it. Ye shall cherish and protect the weak, the oppressed, and all creatures that suffer wrong. Ye shall not eat the flesh, nor drink the blood of any slaughtered creature, nor yet anything which brings disorder to your health or senses.
Whoa.
Ye shall eat.
What?
Yeah.
That's a command. He said you should not
That's a
eat the
command.
flesh nor drink the blood of any slaughtered creature.
And that go back to when James said in Acts, the thing slaughtered. I mean, strangled. Like how these animals in these slaughterhouses killed today.
Right.
Neck, you're strangled. Get out of here. All right. 13. Ye shall not eat the flesh, nor the blood, nor drink the blood of any slaughtered creature, nor yet anything which brings disorder to your health or senses. Ye shall eat the fruits and herbs of the earth, and working in the law live long in the land. Ye shall not make impure marriages where love and health are not, nor yet corrupt yourselves or any creature. You shall revere your fathers and mothers and all the teachers of righteousness. Ye shall not bear false witness against, nor willfully deceive any, nor yet covet or steal their goods. Ye shall purify yourselves daily and rest the 7th day. Ye shall not do unto others as ye would that others should not do unto you. And when the disciples heard these words, they smote upon their breasts, saying, wherein we have offended, O Master, forgive us, and may thy wisdom, love, and truth within us incline our hearts to love and keep this holy law. And Yahshua said to them, my yoke is equal and my burden light, if ye will to bear it. To you it will be easy. Lay no other burden on those that enter into the kingdom, but only these necessary things. This is the new law to the true Israel, and the law is within, for it is the law of love. It is not new, but old. Melchizedek priesthood.
That's right, baby. Right.
Take heed that you add nothing to this law, neither take anything from it. Verily I say to you, they who believe and obey this law shall be saved, and they who know and obey it not shall be lost. But as in Adam all die, so in the Holy Spirit shall all be made alive. And the disobedient shall be purged through many fires, and they who persist shall descend and shall perish eternally. And as they came down from the mountain, Yahshua charged them, saying, tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be risen again from amongst them that sleep. His disciples asked him, saying, why then say the scribes that Elijah must first come? And Yahshua answered and said to them, Elijah truly shall come first and restore all things. But I say to you, Elijah is come already, and they knew him not, but have done to him whatsoever they would. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer them. Then the disciples understood that he spoke to them of John the Baptist. So I just wanted to read that, you know what I'm saying, lay that ancient law that's not new, but it's old. What you think the Melchizedek priesthood laws are that Adam went by, that Enoch and Abraham and I know they're gonna say Abraham sat down and yeah, we're not dealing with that right now, but we can get into it.
Whenever they ready, we can deal with it too. Easy work, you know what I mean? We can go right back to the story. I just wanted to read that, you know what I'm saying, because you know, as just like we have the 10 commandments of Moses, we need to know these laws that Hamashiach, this is the prophet
who was talked about in Deuteronomy, what's that, 18, 15, 18? Yeah, like this is the prophet. You know what I'm saying? This is Yahushua. So he's giving these laws. So that's the only reason I wanted to read it. And we need to become familiar with these. You know what I'm saying? It's no sin, or it's nothing wrong with brothers with not killing creatures. It actually helps you. Like, you know, my spirit is like rejuvenated. I'd be like scared to kill a spider in the house. Not scared, but just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that
we're gonna let this joke outside.
Yeah. Like, I'll be like, go ahead, but I'll pick them up and, you know what I'm saying, take them out or something. But it's nothing wrong with not wanting with reverencing everything that was made in creation. You're supposed to love everything. You know what I'm saying? You love your pet. You love your dog. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna slaughter your dog. Now, you love your dog like you love, you know, not necessarily your child, but you have copious amounts of love for your pets. Do that with everything. Yeah. From the plants to the trees to the, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to do better. Like, it's time for us to get back to Eden, sincerely. Like, we in a pivotal time. Like, man, they about to try to lock stuff down. Like, dog, we gotta get to it.
Then they tripping up on the food. Know about the food shortages and all that too. And it's mainly the flesh. It's mainly the flesh, everybody. I'm like, bro, look, bring your body under discipline. Learn the discipline. You understand? Or learn the discipline that gut. Get yourself together, man. It really ain't. I think the Most High. Look, it went by. I've been doing this over a year now. Last April.
You too.
Last April was when I stopped eating flesh right after the Passover. You understand? And bro, I feel the best I ever felt in my life. I feel like I'm 20 again. Like, you know what I mean? Hawk a joker down, jump fences, whatever. Get out of there. Good, man.
I done dropped weight. I don't even work out. I done dropped weight. Wake up in the morning, breath don't smell like 10 levels. It might be on 6. You know what I'm saying now? You know, bowels different. Like, it's just it's a difference.
It is, man. It's amazing. You ain't letting out that type of odor anymore.
Right.
Like you say, even your bowel movement don't smell the same no more. Like,
dang, that's what I'm saying. Bowels is different and everything.
You did,
but
so, man.
Yeah, man. And the reason I said earlier, like, man, y'all better pray that the understanding that's being brought forth here today and that's been brought, that we off. Because if it's what HaMashiach just said in verse 22, he said, verily I say to you, they who believe and obey this law shall be saved. And they who know and obey it not, or choose to believe a lie, shall be lost. Like, and I'm not saying, I'm reading the script, period. Take it how you gonna take it. But I just feel like y'all better pray that we wrong.
Yeah.
And it ain't no harm in not eating flesh and loving all the creation. Where's the evil at in that?
Right. Where's the sin?
No evil in that.
Where's the evil in
Where's the sin?
You know what I mean? Where the evil in thinking? Ain't no evil in that, man. And Negroes know that. Look, I wanna do a part 2 with you tomorrow if you got time, brother.
I got time today, and that's what they say. I got time today. I got time here, bro, for sure.
So we got a lot, because we got a whole bunch of the books that Robert Eisman wrote. We can bring that out, do some studying on that tonight. We still got to get.
I still want to get into because brothers brought a lot of them historians out, and a lot of them historians spoke about James. You know what I'm saying? So I still want to get into that.
Bruh, everything them cats, bro, I got everything they brought out. Like, I got all that. Like, let's get going into the so-called church historians was to show that the Nazarene sect is on the mouth of the church historians, even though they disagree with us.
Yeah,
they talking about that sect though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all good, brother. Hey, read us a psalm or something before we get up out of here, bro. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Read us a psalm, brother. Read us like Psalm 95 or something. Psalm 95. That's about being in the wilderness and how we never knew his ways then either. You know what I mean?
And look, of course. Look, my script's falling apart, but that thing already highlighted. 95.
Already highlighted. Okay, bro. I'm just gonna put the wisdom collar on. Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
All right. Oh, come, let us sing unto Yahuwah. Let us make a joyful noise to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before his presence with thanksgiving and make a joyful noise unto him with psalms. For Yahuwah is a great power and a great king above all gods. In his hand are the deep places of the earth, and the strength of the hills is his also. The sea is his, and he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before Yahuwah our maker. For he is our power, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand. Today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart, as in the provocation. Today, if you will hear his voice, harden not your heart, as in the provocation, as in the day of temptation in the wilderness, when your fathers tempted me, proved me, and saw my work. 40 years long was I grieved with this generation, and said, it is a people that do err in their heart, and that have not known my ways, unto whom I swore in my wrath that they shall not enter into my rest. Hallelujah.
All praises, great glory and honor, man. Most High, brothers. Honor chopping it up with you, bro. You dig? You got any last words you want to say before we close out?
Talk I ain't got too much to say, man. Keep the commandments of the Most High. Keep the laws that we just read. Follow Hamashiach and not man. Study for yourself, period. And pray that the Ruach come and lead you into all truth and understanding. And that's it. We be back tomorrow. We're going to bang it out. And, Brew, you know what? I need you to start coming back with them Hebrew prayers.
All right, that's easy work. You already know.
Yeah, we need to get back reciting those and banging.
Yeah, let's work. We can do that. We can do the ironic blessing in the Hebrew and the Master's prayer in the Hebrew. I'm with it.
Yeah,
I'm with all that. You dig? It ain't no thing, man. So look, I love all you brothers and sisters indeed in truth. Y'all believe that? You may hear a little fuss from a few misfits, but they be all right. Shout out to all the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. We love y'all too. You dig? And that ain't just a fancy phrase. I be saying, like, we literally commanded to pray for those who call themselves enemies. We literally are commanded to pray for those. Send peace, love, and light into your heart and to your soul. You know, as you can see the error of your ways. You know what I mean? One thing I ain't finna do was let anger trick me into hating any brother or sister. Whatever.
And you know why we should do that? Because nobody feels that but you. Like, if you're angry or whatever, nobody feels that. Like, you have to vibrate at a certain level. So your mind is very powerful. You know what I'm saying? The mind that the Most High has given us is very powerful. So if you are projecting feelings of hate, of anger, of all, like, it's going to manifest in your life. But if you're projecting feelings of peace and happiness, and you're meditating on the things spoke of in Philippians 4 and 8 and things of that nature, like, it's going to manifest in your life. So if anything, one, we're commanded, but two, do it for your benefit. Like, bless those who curse you and things of that nature. I know it's hard with this flesh, you know what I'm saying, this animal skin, but do it. You know what I'm saying? You'll feel better. You know what I'm saying? And you're commanded to do it. So, yes. That's it. Shalom, family.
Shalom, my brother. Abundant blessings to you and yours. You already know, clip up. You know what I mean? All that.
Likewise, King. I get with you on the other side.
All right, we'll chop it on up. Hey, look, love all y'all brothers and sisters indeed and true. Y'all go back over, meditate, study what we got. We're going to bring some more out tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Man, you know what it is. Bang, bang, Maccabee gang, sack of the Nazarenes. What's up?
Yeah, all that. All that. All that. All right, y'all. Till the next time. Love all y'all. Salute.